Hey, episode number 19 of the Eric and Brad Show. Eric and Brad Show at gmail.com, Eric and Brad Show at gmail.com, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube. We've done this for 19 episodes so far. Welcome everybody who's hearing this for the first time. Thank you to everybody who is sharing and rating. You can email us. We have an email through Gmail, which is Google Mail from Google. Eric and Brad Show at gmail.com. How's it going, man?
Fantastic. How you doing, buddy?
Hanging in there.
Hanging in there? Hanging in there?
I just fucking pulled into the driveway 20, 30 minutes ago, jumped in and out of the shower and sat down, so...
Was today a work day?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, buddy.
It's okay.
So how was the week?
Hot, man.
It was hot? Yeah, it's been pretty hot here, too. Hey, I got a
It's
good
like
joke. I got a good joke for you.
Okay.
Why'd the chicken cross the road?
I don't know why.
To get to the gay guy's house. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
The chicken.
The chicken. God damn it.
Sorry. I died with that joke. I thought it was great. I know you don't like my dad jokes. I don't know if that's considered a dad joke. I put it in that corner.
Yeah, I don't know. Dude, the tech issues. Fuck me. Hey, Zoom. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Fucking shitty ass company.
Yeah. Chinese piece of shit. Fucking.
You were in the right place at the right time during a pandemic and you made a shitload of money, yet you still have me on camera for an hour straight for 2 episodes. Fuck.
Yeah, we've been having some tech issues, that's for sure. I wrote and then I wrote to them and fucking it took them like 4 days to get back to me, and they gave me just this real generic like answer to the question, and there was no answer. It was just like
Yeah. It was the like unplug your modem for 30 seconds.
yes, yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. It was real dumb.
Fucking motherfuckers. Seriously. If you do this again, Zoom, I swear to God, I don't know who's in charge over there. Obviously, there's nobody in charge. You have a fucking... I don't know. You got nobody in charge. You go to the Zoom... It's like if we did a thing where it's like Eric wants answers for why his Zoom failed and you go to the offices, you're going to be wandering around an empty office. There's going to be nobody there. It's like, Jesus Christ. Ugh. Sorry.
No, you're fantastic. I love the energy. I love the energy. You're getting worked up. I got a plan, dude. You want to hear my plan? I think it's a fucking plan. So there's a little.
What I need right now is a plan.
Okay, well I think it's a good plan, and this involves you and all the people in North Dakota, pretty much. You're all invited. You're all invited to this plan.
Okay.
You know, I think you guys are going to be a central point. Montana's going to have a lot to do with this. The majority of Idaho is going to have a lot to do with this. Wyoming, big, you know, we all got to get together here. This is okay, but I got to do some backstory.
Perfect.
So I've been listening, you know, obviously I listen to a lot of Rogan, and I listen to a lot of Your Mom's House, and they all run in the same group, these comedians, you know, Tom Segura, you know, it's just, you know, you can tell there's a group there, Joey Diaz, Joe Rogan, and like, you know, for the last few weeks, it's been like, the topic has been Joe Rogan's moving out of California. He's out. He's done. He's fucking done with the shit because the main reason, which I think, you know, this is going to kind of go into another topic that really fucking pisses me off, and no one out of all these podcasts has brought up, you know, maybe they're at fault. Maybe their ideologies are the reason that California's crumbling, is because of these real liberal ideas that we take care of everyone and blah, 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 you know, we just increase taxes. Well, the whole fucking reason Joe Rogan's moving is because they've gone into this huge fucking, they're whatever millions of dollars in debt because of COVID over the last few months, and their solution is to jack up tax prices on the wealthy. Well, what are all the fucking wealthy people going to do? They're going to fucking move. You know what I mean? And now they're talking about they're going to do a 10-year mandatory taxation even if you leave the state, which that just is crazy talk. That's what they're what they're fucking talking about doing is even if you leave the state, you're required to pay for 10 years your fucking the taxes in California, which is just bananas. That is the most that's the most fascist shit I've ever heard.
Right.
So obviously, Joe Rogan started the snowball. But I mean, the California is moving out of California. I mean, my brother and my sister married a fucking cop in Oakland. They spent a few years and then they were just out. And this was like 4 years ago, 5 years ago. Like, we just can't do California anymore. It's crazy out here. Like, it's just unsustainable. Everything going on, the crime rate. They didn't want to raise a family in California. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
So, there's always just been this influx. And living in Idaho, they have all the 7B or go home crap. You know what I mean? It's always like,
Yeah.
Californians get out. That's been like but now I really think it's getting kicked into high gear. Like, they
Yeah.
said in New York, they were talking on your mom's house, they were saying last month, New York dropped 800,000 in population. Like, that's how many
Yeah.
fucking people moved out of New York City. That's insanity. That's
Yeah.
insanity. That's so many
get it,
fucking
though.
people out. Like, no, I get it too. But okay,
Yeah.
before I get into my rant, I want to get into a little side rant. Is just none of them to me are taking any responsibility for ruining their own state. You know what I mean? Well, maybe, just maybe, the reason your state sucks so bad is because of your politics behind the state. It
Yeah.
isn't just a fucking miracle that you guys got shit on so hard. I do get the only thing you could argue is the population there. But I mean, you guys take care of homeless, so fucking, you haven't done anything about a homeless population in Los Angeles. This just bleeding heart shit is what ruins your shit. And then all you're going to do is move somewhere else and ruin their shit. You know what I mean? And I feel
Yeah.
pretty strongly about this. So this is the plan. We all
Okay.
we all start meeting, no one's allowed. We start doing some Bilderberg meetings, you know what I mean? Like some skull and crossbones meetings with all the Montana people. Like, you got to prove your residency. You got to show your registered voter card. You know what I mean? Like, it's going to be hard to get into these meetings. You know what I mean? We just real secret. And what the whole idea behind these meetings will be is the second it all switches, and because they're already, I was looking at Sandpoint house prices, and fucking
God.
Jesus Christ, they're as bad
Yeah.
as Oregon prices. I was like,
Yeah.
how is that even possible? These people are making. I know a few of you live in Sandpoint. There obviously has to be a serious amount of anger because you guys aren't making any money, and yet your
Yeah.
housing cost is Oregon housing cost. That's bananas to me. You know what I mean? People here in Portland make a lot more money than people in Sandpoint fucking Idaho make. And
Yeah.
it's almost the same. I couldn't believe it. I mean, just a regular house there is going for $450,000, like downtown.
Yeah.
And it's just like, holy shit. Like, that is expensive. So this is what we do. Since they're all moving out and they're fucking up housing prices everywhere,
You moved to California.
we all moved to California. We just abandon our states. We just abandon Wyoming, abandon Idaho, abandon North Dakota, Montana. Just leave them all. They could have Missoula. They could have all these liberal meccas. And then they'll just be coming around. They'll fucking pull into fucking Clark Fork and just, where the hell did everyone go? And just a ghost town everywhere. And then we take over. We build a fucking wall and say, get on out. And we just take over. And we just, all of it will be ours. We'll have the great state of California. We can bring the grizzly bear back. You know what I mean? Fucking the good old days of California when they used to vote Republican, when it was a good fucking state. We'll bring it back. We're bringing it back.
Make California great again.
Make California great again. Yes.
Yeah. But then aren't we just stuck fixing their mess?
Well, no, but then we kick them all out. Fucking, we go deal with the homeless problem. We just start, fucking get on out. I think we could do it. I think they're gonna leave anyways.
Right.
They're just gonna leave this barren wasteland, and it's just gonna be a shithole. And we all come clean it up and kick them out, and just be like, nope, you fucking had your chance here. You had your chance. Go on, get.
Yeah, I'm down.
Yeah.
I'd like to be kind of northern if I can.
Well, you
I'll be
could
one
go
of
to
the-
Shasta or whatever. You know what I mean? That's a good spot. Fucking.
Yeah. I'm in.
I'm down to go
Oh.
to San Diego. I'm fucking LA. I'm fucking just lay on the beaches all day. Like, this is the life.
Wouldn't you think the state with like the biggest population would be the best at making money? You know
Oh,
what
they
I
are.
mean?
They're really good at making money, but they're also really good at spending money. Like,
That's
ridiculously good. Ridiculous. Dude, Facebook. All the Silicon Valley is in California. That's like
Yeah.
the amount of money that California produces is ridiculous. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, they just are fucking artards, man.
And then you have like how most movies used to be made there, you know, Hollywood. And then
Yeah.
you have all the movies going to be made in Florida because of taxes, because
Yeah,
of tax
because
relief. Yeah.
look at what Florida has done. I mean, talk all the shit you want on Florida and the people there is
Oh, they're terrible.
they're not a fuck, they're a right to work state. Like they don't give a fuck. But go look at housing prices in Florida. Florida has great housing prices. What you can get in Sandpoint, Idaho for $450,000, you can
Yeah.
absolutely get in Orlando for $250,000. Like their shit's
Right.
great over in Florida.
Yeah. I mean, I will never step foot in the state, but that's just me
Why?
personally.
Florida's great.
Unless
I've been
the
thinking
only
about
reason,
moving to Florida. Be a great state.
uh-huh. Yeah, the only reasoning that I would ever go set foot there is to go to a Bucks game now. But other than that, Florida is where the crazies come from. That's
I
where
mean,
all the
yeah, there's a lot of crazies there, but it spice of life type shit. I mean,
yeah.
other than the fucking hurricanes, that's the only thing
Oh,
that would make me a little nervous. But I think I could deal. I think I could deal. No snow, dude. I've called my parents when it's fucking January and it's freezing balls, even in Oregon, and they're like,
yeah.
75 degrees outside. It's fucking great right now. It's like, oh, you fucking cunts.
Well, I had some buddies in Florida, and I remember one of them saying once, he was like, people always say they don't want to come here because of the hurricanes. He's like, dude, hurricanes are fine. He's like, all through high school and college, we always had hurricane parties. Like, whenever a hurricane was coming, we would all just get together and like party through it. He's like, they're not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, I mean, especially if you're like inland, because once
yeah,
they start getting inland, you really don't have much to worry about. It's like, if you're out there in the fucking Keys and they come at you, yeah, shit's gonna get fucked.
right, dude. I mean, you're thinking we're
I'm
gonna
thinking.
fucking table it. I'm sad that Joe Rogan and Joey Diaz are leaving L.A. I know it's a stupid thing to be sad about, but I was driving around the other day. I'm like, oh, it's just sad. But
I
then you have Elon Musk wanting to leave too.
They're all gonna leave. I mean, but the thing isn't it just I listen the Joey Diaz and Joe Rogan one, like
Yeah,
like I don't know. It's just like they sit and they like, especially Joey Diaz. I love Joey Diaz. He's one of my favorite fucking comedians on the planet. But I'm
yeah,
really kind of baffled by Joey Diaz because he is very bleeding heart, very fucking like he is like deep down. I don't know if it's an act or whatever, but then it's so funny versus his comedy. His comedy is
yeah,
like extremely fucking, like holy shit, like this guy is
yeah.
fucking animal. But then it's like I really when I was listening to that episode at least 3 or 4 times, I was like yelling at Joey Diaz. Like, dude, you're a fucking piece of shit. Like, your ideas are what has ruined everything. These fucking bullshit ideas you're having, like, like I don't know. And then you want to just go move to fucking Montana or some shit like that. Like, no
Yeah.
one's going to agree with you in these places. Like, unless you go to fucking Missoula or some like crazy bleeding heart place, no one's going to hold these values you hold at all. And then you're just going to be pissed off at your surroundings.
I love him. I
I
love the
love him
man.
too. I love him. Sorry. I've been a little ramped up this week. A little ramped up.
Nice. Um, dude, I completely shit the bed on getting a guest this week,
Oh.
and it was a pain in the ass what I tried to get through. The first guest that I tried to get that we kind of wanted, the only reason we didn't get them is purely because Brad couldn't understand the time differences. It made no sense to me. And I still don't understand. I still don't even understand what the fuck happened. Because I was like, I threw a time out there, and then they replied with like another time, but it's on the other side of the world. And so I was so confused that I was just like, I'm not even gonna reply. I'm gonna move on from that.
Oh my
And then
God, you are tard.
I know. I didn't understand. It was like 12. They said like 12 a.m. And I was like, is 12 a.m. So I had to
Okay,
Google.
okay,
Is
yeah.
12 a.m. midnight or is
I
12
bet.
a.m. noon? And it was like 12 a.m. is
Oh
midnight
my
or something.
God.
And I'm like, and I'm like, well, fuck, we're not doing it at fucking 12 a.m. at midnight. So I was like, scratch that, move on to the next one. Then everybody else is like, busy, busy, busy.
So we
Fuck.
scrapped the girl because I really wanted that girl on.
Yeah, because I don't understand the
Dude,
time difference. It
dude,
makes
dude,
no
dude.
sense to
Okay,
me.
okay. Just get on Google when you're talking to her, when you're having your exchange, and just go find a fucking converter. 'Cause I guarantee it's on there to where it's like you just type in their time and it'll just pop up whatever time it is for you. So then just keep that in the side of your screen and then just be like, what time works for you? Can you give me a window? And then you type that time in and be like, okay. And then just deal in her time. Don't even deal in your time. Just be like, okay, what time works for you? And then just go that way. And then what we'd figure it out. If we got to fucking do, what a different time, that's fine. I'll fucking do a 2 a.m. fucking podcast.
The answer I got was 12 a.m.
Her
And
time.
I was like, I don't know if it's her time or our time. I
Well, then
don't
just
know.
ask her that. Like, oh my
Oh
god.
my God. It's easier said than done,
Okay.
you know? It sounded to me like it was 12 a.m. our time, which then I had to figure out what time of the day. I don't know if that's midnight or noon. And then I figured out it was fucking midnight. And then I was like, well, what are you gonna do?
So we
Can't
have
do
an
that.
opening in our PR department. You can email
I know.
Beavers
Yeah,
Eric.
you're damn right we do. I mean, I got the guy for 2 weeks from now, but fucking everybody else shit the bed hard. It was ridiculous.
30
I'm sorry.
dogs.
Yeah.
Well, I went down. Do you have a? Do you want? Are you want to go on something? Because I got a lot of like. I got a lot of things I'm fucking amped up about.
Okay, well, since we've just kind of done a couple amped up things, I'll just say that I'll just go into fucking Blazers Lakers right now.
Oh
We're
yeah,
two games in. It's
and
one to
Blazers
one.
shit the bed last night or the night before last night.
So it's best of seven, and we're Lakers have won one, Blazers have won one. We're playing game three tonight,
Yeah.
and it's fucking I don't know what's gonna happen, yo. So
Well,
Dame Dalla is a baller,
dude,
but
that
there's
guy
a
can
guy.
fucking put some points up. What on game one? What was it? Didn't he put up like 56 points or something? It was like an
I
insane
don't know.
number. It
I
was
had
like
to be
crazy.
reminded. Yeah, I didn't even know that it was on. I had to be reminded the next day. But fucking, there's another guy on the other side of the ball. His name's LeBron James. I don't know if you've ever
Yeah,
heard of him.
yeah, but
So
yeah,
I don't know.
I know.
But
Is from what I've heard, is this? I've talked. I have some basketball player friends here that are like very, very into it, and a few of them like play. Are on all the leagues and shit like that. Like they're so invested into basketball. And
yeah,
fucking one of the guys I was talking about, I talked to him a few years ago, and he was just explaining how you build teams and like how you get a championship team. And he
yeah,
was explaining, he's like, even though Damian Lillard is this badass fucking player, like just the way Portland is structured, it's never gonna happen. Like it's like
right.
he's in the wrong fucking. It's he's by the time Portland gets its shit together, management wise and building a team, Damian's gonna be at the end of his career anyways, and he's fucked. Like it
Right.
is like they are. He is in a place where people are super supportive of him. Like Portland fucking
Yeah,
loves him. He is the god of
yeah,
Portland. Like hands down,
hell
the
yeah.
god of Portland. But
Yeah,
then on the other hand, I was talking to a kid the other day, and he was explaining that this year is such a bananas year altogether that it's
yeah,
kind of all up in the air anyways, because all the
yeah,
teams are fucked up. Like he was
yeah.
explaining that Golden State is garbage right now. Like didn't I isn't don't they have a
They're
few
not
players out? Like fucking
playing. They're not play. It's the playoffs, and they're
and they're
not in the
done.
playoffs.
Oh, so yeah, like they have already so the god team for the last 3 years is already out. Like and LeBron isn't, I don't think, yeah, this is a novice thing. I am not some fucking connoisseur of basketball. But then
No,
from what I understand is with the Lakers, this isn't fucking Cleveland. Like they haven't built this team yet around,
right.
they're not as good as Cleveland was.
Yeah, I
True?
don't. I don't know. Yeah, some Cleveland teams. Yeah, they're not as good as some Cleveland teams were. I mean, there was a couple Cleveland teams that were terrible. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Yeah, but it is a shit show year. I mean, I don't even know what the fuck's going on. I'm watching the game, and everybody in the stands is just like video. It's like video. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's fucking really weird, really weird. And then there was the TikTok of because Lil Wayne's sitting there in the crowd, but it's just a video of him, and he like goes away, and ducks down and then comes back up and just blows this huge puff of smoke out. It's like, God damn it.
Well, and the
But
crazy thing about Portland is, let's say we win it. I mean, what do? They're already rioting in the streets. I mean, how do you push it even further than that? Like, we'd have to, the crazy thing would be to just stop rioting. That would
yeah,
fucking blow people away.
yeah, right. Well, we'll see what happens. You know, as far as we know, next week when we're doing the show, could still be going on. So we'll just
This is early championships, right? Like, there's still quite a bit of
there's
teams.
yeah, there's a long way to go. It's like end of September, I think it ends or
This
something
is
like
like the
that.
first round of the
Yeah,
finals, right? Yeah. Fuck, and we get LeBron first round. Ah, what a shit show.
it sucks. These are the two teams you want to see towards the end. You don't want to see them first. That's what I'm thinking. You know, you want to see them meet later.
Yeah, which is gonna
Yeah.
suck really hard. But fuck, if Portland can pull this out, then it should be a pretty lot
Yes.
easier path to the fucking national championship.
100%. All right, go for it. What do you got?
So I went, I've been doing the book thing, the audiobook thing.
Uh
And,
huh.
I've been doing, I've gone down this path, obviously, with Grisham, Patterson, Crichton, and they're all the same, really. They're very similar authors. I don't know what you would call that, like new age fiction. I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't know what you would exactly call that genre, but, it's a very kind of specific fiction genre. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, so I was, I'm at the beginning of the week, I'm like, dude, I got to get into something different. And I was thinking about some nonfiction shit, you know what I mean? But I couldn't think of anything nonfiction to get into. And then I was like, no, no, no. I was like, I need to go on a rant for a while of like classic, all the books that I've never, that I don't know anything about. And, so The Tale of Two Cities or something like that, or fucking, blah,
Yeah.
something. But then I was like, it hit me and I was like, oh, dude, you know who I've never checked out? That isn't like Moby Dick famous, but I mean, he has a fucking name for himself, that's for sure, is Charles Bukowski. So do you know who Bukowski is?
No, I mean I've heard the name a lot.
So, and I kind of knew a little bit about Bukowski, but I just knew that he was kind of crazy. I didn't know what his writing style really was. So, first book I did was Ham on Rye, which I did in a day, and whatever. And then the next day I did uh, Post Office by Charles Bukowski. His real name is Henry Bukowski. His middle name is Charles, but he thought that would be better. So I'm going to just kind of go off a little bit. So after I
Yeah.
read the books, then I was like, okay, let me go down by. So I watched this 2 hour documentary on him on YouTube and then went through his Wikipedia. And
Yeah.
what's funny is the two books I randomly chose are both like his most autobiographical books. They're still fiction books, but almost not. Like they're almost just his life. Like especially Ham on Rye is just pretty much a depiction of his life. Like
Right.
all about a kid who comes over from Germany in the 1930s, straight up what he did. Fucking German parents. The name in the book is like instead of Bukowski is like Chukowski or something like that. Like all the names are the fucking his best friend has the same nickname as his real best friend growing up was like blah 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 blah. But essentially, all he fucking writes about is how shitty his life is, how shitty his life was growing up, and then how he got picked on really hard as a kid. He had like horrid acne, and you could see it in newer pictures of him. His face is all scarred up because he had
Oh,
like a really bad case of acne growing up, like the worst you can have. And on Ham on Rye, they go on a whole thing about the boils all over his back and shit, and he'd have to go into these 1940s hospitals, and they'd lance it and shit, and
oh,
put him through. Yeah, it was like horrible, and like people always making fun of him. And then like once he gets out of high school, he's a pretty big boy, and fucking gets into alcohol, doesn't want to work, fights a bunch of people, and then just goes like straight on Ham on Rye. Then he's just straight fucking just a straight shit path, like just
Yeah.
crazy into booze. The end of Ham on Rye, and I mean, whatever, that's kind of like, but it's still a book. It's like he's writing books. But I will say he kind of got pushed into writing books because he wanted to be a poet. and that's what he did for years. He didn't become famous until he was like 50 years old. So he had like written thousands of poems and tried to get them published, and he worked at a post office, and fucking so post office is another one that's like more on his later life. But crazy alcoholic. But really, the whole point of the books is like is just normal American values are bullshit, and having kids is bullshit, and working is bullshit because it's just this like and I get where he's coming from. It's just this like the system is rigged, the system is rigged to fuck you your whole life, and set up debt, and you're just gonna be miserable. So, but he never gives I'm angry about this. I'm really angry about his writing because like and one, it's sad. Like the 2 days I listened to it, like it was sad. Like I didn't feel good at the end of the day. I spent all day listening to it, and at the end of the workday, I was like having anxiety and was like, "Fuck! Like this is sad. Like everything's sad that's happening here. Like it's all just alcoholism. It's super depressing. Like fucking, it's just horrible." And like the way he's like super kind of misogynistic a little bit, like just always, yeah. And so, okay, but the reason I think he became famous is one, just being super negative, but then he's super foul in his books. Like a lot of fucking cunt, just like everything is a lot of horrible language in his books. But I want to say, I don't think he's that good. I mean, he is a good writer. Yes, like he can actually write good. Yeah. He can fill up a page of good shit, but there's no, at both of the end of those books, say whatever the fucking you want to, he leaned on being depressing and cursing a lot and drinking a lot of alcohol and being very vulgar. There's no story. There's no fucking story. Like there isn't. Like there's very little like all those things they teach you in school, which I appreciate. Like when books or movies have like foreshadowing, there's like basic story structure, like, and then an ending, a moral, like, and his morals are just like, yes, there's a moral there, but it's just like, he's not giving you, what's irritating is if that's the point you're going to make is like, fuck the system, you might as well just drink yourself to death. Well, at least give like an option. You know what I mean? You're just bitching. You know what I mean? He just bitches. 2 books just full of him bitching about the system, but there's no release. It's just, it's fucked. And it's like, okay, you just spent 8 hours explaining how life is fucked, but that's it? Like, that's it? That's all you're doing? And you're just like, and yeah, I don't know. I don't agree with it. I don't think he's that good. I don't know. It made me mad. I feel strongly about it. I don't think he's that good. And I think in the 60s, or like in the 70s, when he got his rise to fame, late 70s or early 80s, when like people were just starting to freak out, and because he had like started this cult following in fucking Los Angeles, is just this like, I think they were just like excited about someone being vulgar in a book, and they're just like, oh, whoa, and it's like, oh, he's so dark and sophisticated, and it's like, no, it's fucking, there's no point to his book. It's just dark bullshit. Like, it's all it is, just dark bullshit. And I guess if that's what you want to read, is just dark stuff that's like, and a lot of it's fighting. He gets you can tell he loves to write about fighting. Like, he gets very detailed in a lot of the books about like, and then, I fucking kneed him in the face, and fucking blood was all over his face, blah, 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 blah. You just, I don't know.
It's just shock value?
Like mainly it's just shock value. And just to depress.
Here it's like, he's noted for his use of violent images and graphic language in poetry and fiction that depict survival in a corrupt, blighted society. You seem like you're still sad about it. Like it's made you sad.
Yes, dude, it did. I mean, so it is good in that it stuck with me. It definitely made me think. But when I compare it to like a Grisham book, like, yes, there isn't this like life philosophy shit like in my head, but he wrote a really good story. Like to where the whole book, I'm like, oh my God, what's gonna happen? And to me, that takes way more skill than just being fucking depressing. Like, anyone could just be like, yeah, I was fucking, just go on and the horrible shit that's happened in their life and write about it and be vile and get super drunk and be like, yeah, I'm just going to piss my life away. anyone can do that. Like, and then people are, and then he's in his book, he's like making it seem like he's taking a more daring path in life than, oh yeah, you're just gonna go work for the fucking man and have your fucking. It's like, dude, you're a fucking lazy piece of shit. Like, don't fucking make all these people out to be like conformist, man, and fucking you're fucking sadist piece of shit. No, you are. You're the fucking lazy piece of shit that's running away from his problems. Like, I don't know. I don't think he deserves to be famous.
Yeah. See, it's like when I ask someone, did you see that movie? Like you with Uncut Gems, perfect example. And you have a rant about that movie, how much you hated it or whatever. I'm like, this is why it's a good movie.
Yeah.
You know?
Because
it got there.
Yeah. I mean, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess. And what was more shocking was both the books, once I got into like biography shit, is that pretty much everything he said was his life. So it was like, it was kind of cool because you're just I think I did it right. I think not knowing anything about him and then getting into the book and just kind of getting into the book and then like at the end of the book being like, holy shit, he's actually just talking about his own life. Like, oh damn, that's crazy. Like, and what the one thing I really did like about the book that I would say kind of point someone in the direction of like, the cool thing is to read a book that was written from the perspective of someone from a long time ago. Because like when he's writing Ham on Rye, is the way he's talking about politics and where America is, it's like out of like 1950. You know what I mean? So it's like he lived through like, his parents moved here from Germany, like Nazi Germany. You know what I mean? So it was like really interesting, that perspective of like the way he talks about, like, I don't know, the way he, because his dad, like his whole dad character in Ham on Rye is just super capitalistic, super anti, Nazi, anti-communism. That comes up a lot in his book, is like, fucking commies. You know what I mean? You fucking commie piece. And it's like, oh yeah, when he was writing this was during the Cold War. You know what I mean? Like, this was a big deal at that time. I don't know. So that's my Bukowski rant.
It sounds fascinating to me. I don't know. But I guess even with a work of fiction, that's kind of weird because it's like even with a work of fiction, you still want either like a character that you can identify with, or I guess like lessons that you. I'm not saying you identify, or lessons that you can take away, I guess, and be like, I can apply that to my own life. I don't know.
Yeah,
I haven't read a book since fucking like I haven't read a book in decades, but I guess you still want something to take away from it, or a character you identify with. Be like, fuck, maybe
that's why I'm so mad. Is there's just so much of me in this character, and I'm just like running from this horrible, alcoholic fucking days. I wish I had the balls to go live. Maybe that's it.
Right. Yeah, like a path that you didn't take.
Yeah.
What I'm saying. Yeah, I don't know. Have you ever read anything by Hunter S. Thompson?
Very little. I've read like one of my buddies.
Hunter S. Thompson.
I've never read his books. I've read his like poetry deals. Like one of my buddies had a fucking book that he always had on his toilet that was like 100 writings of Hunter S. Thompson or something like that, and they were all like 4 pages or something like that. And I definitely know a lot about Hunter S. Thompson. Was it
poetry or was it articles for magazines? Like
it was all kinds of, it was random shit. I mean, some of it wasn't even by him. It was like about him, but it was just this Hunter S. Thompson like short story type deal. But I know, I will. Okay, I'm glad you brought him up because I didn't write any of this down. But earlier in the week, that I wanted to compare him to Hunter S. Thompson to even drive my point home further. Hunter S. Thompson is a better writer and lives this fucking crazy life. Like, he did it better than Bukowski. Like, he lived the life, took that life to a fucking extreme, like way further than you ever could want to, and like became famous in his own lifetime. And his writing is better. Like, his writing is undeniably, that guy is a fucking master. And to put
Yeah.
like Bukowski in the same, Bukowski isn't. Like he's just dark. And yes, he's a good writer. Like of course, he's way better than I'll ever be. Of course. Like I don't have the I obviously don't have the fucking background to really be talking mad shit because I
Right.
can't, it's like me talking shit on like Warren Sapp or something, be like, well, you know what I'd do if I was, yeah, like fuck it, of
Yeah.
course, yeah, like yeah. But you read Hunter S. Thompson and it's just beautiful. Like you open any Hunter S. Thompson book and read one paragraph, you understand why he's famous. It's like Jesus Christ, like he can like put words together that you just would never put together, and just like
Right.
fuck, like God damn it, you're good. Like he's just smart as fuck. You can tell, see it in his writing.
I
And
wish I could read some more Hunter S. Thompson or listen to the audiobooks, but a few of them I feel just get me super anxious and like psychedelic-y kind of. But I know he has a lot of political writings and articles and
yeah,
stuff, and that would be interesting because I know he's famous for some crazy big article he did for like Rolling Stone or whatever that like literally swayed the election.
yeah,
There's some article out there that he did a whole like hate piece against like whoever was running against Nixon or Reagan or something like that, and it like swayed the election. It was so mass influential. I don't know. That might be interesting. The psychedelic shit, I don't know if I can even I don't know if my brain can handle it anymore.
maybe next week I'll go off on fucking on him because
Yeah.
I haven't delved into him for a minute. But did you one quick story about him? My favorite story about Hunter S. Thompson is he went at like 3 in the morning, went to Jack Nicholson's house like a long fucking time ago, and fucking set up this whole PA on his front lawn, and fucking played pigs getting murdered at like full volume on his birthday just to fucking do it. So Jack Nicholson just woke up and just heard, "Rah, rah," and he's, what the fuck is going on? And under his Thompson's just sitting out there just laughing and just like,
That,
that's like one of my
gee.
favorite Thompson stories.
So, speaking of, we'll just get into this now since I got it. Speaking of great writers of their time, there's a man that I love very much named Kanye West, and um, he
I
posted a
thought we were
tweet.
done with Kanye West. I thought you said
No,
we're doing it once and then pulling it. Okay, nope, no.
we're doing it every week. So he had this awesome tweet that just said, he said, a vision just came to me. Jesus talk. I was watching TikTok with my daughter, and as a Christian father, I was disturbed by a lot of the content, but I completely loved the technology. Right? And you know what?
Okay,
You know what I have to say about that? Kanye, I completely agree with you. Completely agree with you. Because you know what I hate more than anything? When I open that fucking TikTok app and there's some half naked 19-year-old girl just shaking her ass on there, I'm like, this is disgusting.
yeah, that's the worst part of TikTok.
I
You know,
hate
that's
it.
what I'm so mad at TikTok for that. It just fucking pisses
Yeah.
me off.
You know what I hate more than anything? When I fucking open TikTok and I see some 20-year-old girl shaking her titties on my phone. I close my phone and I say, disgusting. And
Yeah.
I throw it across the room and I
There
say,
we go.
yes, fuck, this is just disgusting. You know, cover yourself up, child. Put some clothes on. That's what I'd say. And I yell that in my house down the hallway. I say, this is filth. What happened? What happened to, sharing one milkshake, two straws, maybe at prom, maybe hold a girl's hand or something like that? Where's the classy America? I hate it so much when I open that app and I see some butt naked 18-year-old girl on there shaking her titties, shaking her ass. I'm like, this is sick. So I
Yeah.
completely agree with you, Kanye. Where's the Jesus talk? Jesus TOK, like TikTok TOK.
Yeah, yeah,
That? Take me to the
uh,
front of the line for Jesus talk.
yeah,
It is sick. I hate it when I open that app and I see some fucking 21-year-old girl wearing nothing but dental floss, shaking her titties, jumping around, jumping in the pool. Ugh, is disgusting.
yeah.
That's nothing I hate more than that.
You know what's
That's what I
funny
have to
about
say.
TikTok is how certain songs are triggers. Like you don't even have to fuck. There's like 20 songs that if you hear it on someone's phone, start like halfway through the song at that point, you know exactly what they're watching. Like
Yeah.
like there was like the baby shark 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 shark. Have you seen that one? It's like it's like a
Yeah.
dubstep version of that. It's like yeah, if
Yeah.
it's that one, it's gonna be a great fucking video. Like the other ones. You know exactly what they're watching. You got to be careful around your girlfriend. You know what I mean? If she hears that song, you got to keep the phone backed away, to where she
Yeah.
can't see it.
There's some hoes in this house. There's some hoes in this house. I hate it so much when I open that fucking app and I see some 20-year-old
I
girl.
know it's horrible, but I'm sure everyone knows this. But this is another public service announcement. I need to be sponsored by TikTok. If you're out there, TikTok, I am your biggest fucking salesman. Watch our fucking videos. You don't have someone out there spreading the word of the talk like this guy because, I'm sure there's a lot of people out there still, especially in our group of friends. I know there's a lot of people still holding on that are just like, no, I'm not doing TikTok. It's for
Yeah.
children. You know what I mean? I ain't
Yeah.
fucking doing it. Okay, let me give you another sales pitch on why TikTok is so awesome. So when you
Okay.
find that video where it's like, I don't even know, it's like that baby shark, shark,
Uh-huh.
shark, 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 and it does this like dubsteppy like remix of that song. But the whole reason people are using that song is to shake their ass to, and then it just becomes this like twerking deal. So then all you do is you at the bottom of the screen, you hit the fucking music thing, and it shows you all the videos that have that song on it. So then you just get a endless supply of girls shaking their ass, and you just sit there and just like, oh my god, just like, and it's funny. Then there's like a whole Mexican lane. If you're into Mexican girls, you'll find the one Mexican song that's like
Oh
the
my
ass
God.
shaker song, and you just fucking swipe through Mexican girls shaking their ass. It's fucking awesome. It's the best thing ever.
Oh, I think it's disgusting.
Oh,
Me and
it's
Connie,
so great. Not for
there's
kids.
nothing
It is not very good for kids.
I know when we were kids, well, when I was a kid, what we were doing, we were watching Disney Channel and we were watching, I don't know, old Star Wars movies. Now these kids, I hate it so much when I open that app and I see some fucking 18-year-old girl wearing nothing, shaking her ass and shaking her titties all over my phone. I didn't ask
Yeah.
for this.
Yeah, I mean, I've already made my decision up, and I don't give a fuck. I don't care. You can write me and tell me I'm going to be a bad parent. So, we're raising a 4-year-old right now, and both me and the girl both agree. I mean, in my mind, she does not get a phone until she's a freshman in high school. Like, like that, there's no way. And even then, I don't even know. But there's at least nothing all through middle school and elementary school. Fuck that. I don't give a shit. Like, I do not care. Like, and whatever you want to say about me, and especially like makeup too. I watched the TikTok. This was the one TikTok that pissed me off the other day. Is I
Oh
watched.
boy.
It was kind of sad because this dad, like, or this uncle, he's like, my fucking niece just came over to my house, and she's like this 5-year-old little girl, and like he shows her in the video, and then he's like, and she's crying because all these girls are making fun of her because her parents are too poor to fucking buy her makeup. And then he's like,
Oh my
well,
God.
not the rich fucking uncle. And so he like starts his fucking brand new Mercedes and fucking takes off and goes down to some fucking makeup store and just buys all this fucking makeup and then gives it to
Oh,
this little girl. And then he sits and like does this whole video and like makeups this fucking whole little girl out. And I'm just like, and all these like, I looked in the
what
message
the?
and everyone's like, "You're such a nice man," like blah 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 blah. I'm like, it was a horror movie to me. It was just like, what are you doing? Like,
Oh
this
my
is
God.
ridiculous. This girl should not even know what makeup it like. Oh my god,
Yeah.
it
Oh
like,
my God. What is happening? Oh,
like I can't. I fucking can't. Like I it's so weird with kids, man. It's so weird like the things cuz then
sounds terrifying.
as I hate to call myself a parent cuz I'm in such a weird position. You know what I mean? But fucking like the tattoos are a fucking weird thing for me because she like wants to do everything like you and she'll say shit like that. She'll just be like, "I want tattoos." And it's like it's a weird fucking thing you got to do and like no, you don't. Like, you know what I mean? Like no, you don't. Like or like fucking few months ago, it was a big one and I got real serious for a minute was we went out to smoke a cigarette and she's like, "I want to smoke." And then I was just like, "Yeah." And then so I went on this fucking I sat her down and like, horrified her with cigarettes, essentially. Not like I didn't go off, but I was like, these are bad for you, and we shouldn't, no. And she's like, well, then why are you doing this? And it was this
Right.
fucking whole goddamn thing. And it was like, well, I would rather have her fucking be mad at me. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I was like,
That's tough.
I was mad that I was the one having this conversation, like out of the grandparents and the mom and everyone, like why have this like, and I am definitely not gonna fucking brush this one under the rug. You know what I mean? Like make her think
Yeah.
that it's like okay, you know what I mean, or
Yeah.
cool or fucking not that bad. Like no, I'm gonna fucking explain to her that this is horrible. This is killing people. You know what I mean? Like this is a bad. I don't know. It's weird. Little ones are weird, man. Little ones are very weird.
Yeah, that's terrifying. That just sounds terrifying.
Yeah, it was a weird day.
Goddamn TikTok. And then he said, which is kind of exciting, he said, we got in contact with TikTok. Praise the Lord. I'll keep everyone updated. Which I'm kind of like, well, why'd you get in contact with them if you just want to start a competitor? But maybe there'll just be an offshoot of TikTok called Jesus Talk
Yeah,
when
or
I'll be
maybe it'll
back.
be like, Netflix when you get on. That's like kids and then the name.
Yeah. Oh, and another thing I saw on TikTok that there's like settings that parents can have on their teens' phones where if the teen wants to download an app, they request it on their phone, and then the parents get a notification, and you can either allow them to download the app or not. I
Oh,
was like, no, it's kind of
that's
cool, I
cool.
guess. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. So I mean, it's just there's nothing I hate more than when I open that app and I see some fucking 19-year-old girl just shaking her titties right in my face. I'm like, get these out of my face. Get over there and put some clothes on. Anyway,
I like it. I like it. I mean,
thanks. Uh,
So, I've also, I had the idea of the California thing, but I've also had another idea this week, and I'm all about it. I've been getting some backlash from friends and the girlfriend. They're not into this, and I don't understand why. I think it's a brilliant idea. I think, so, I have this X amount of money set aside for this house, and, shit's not going very well for buying the house. You know what I mean? It's just like, it's really bad here. It's like it's just hard to
do you
find a
not?
fucking huh?
Are you not getting the one? Are you not getting the one house of your dreams?
Dude,
That
I've
one?
I've 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 my I'm easy. I could live in so
Yeah.
many different houses. Like I'm fine. There's very little prerequisites. You know what I mean? It's like I just need a yard
Yeah.
for the dog. I need more than fucking 1,000 square feet. I need more than that. You know what I mean? And
Mm,
I really do want to have a band room. So I want a room that I can soundproof and I can build a studio in, which it doesn't even need to be that big of a room. Like I'm not
right.
thinking this huge. It just needs to fit a drum set, a computer, a few guitar amps. Like you know what I mean, and a little bit of
Right.
space. But it's just sitting there. And I'm getting so discouraged about these houses. And we have, for people that are buying a house, like you got to think like there's a few things. Like you got to have a down payment for a house. Which
Hmm.
is let's say 5%. You know, and then something you'll learn is when you're buying a house, that's not all the money you need. You know what I mean? You don't just have to come up with that amount of money. You also need to come up for closing costs on a house. You have to pay all that
Hmm.
shit. That's separate from your loan. You know what I mean? Like, and then so you're gonna let's say from what it's been explained to me, I haven't gone through this yet. Is we were looking at about $6,000. You know what I mean, to pay off inspector fees. Blah blah
Oh
blah blah
yeah.
blah. All that shit that's gonna come with that month before you move into your house.
On
Um,
top of the down payment, and
on
then
top of your down payment.
I guess ideally, well, not ideally, like damn near necessity is you don't want to move in with $0 left to your fucking
Yeah,
name.
yeah, and
Yeah.
that too. And then and then the other thing is we have X amount of money set aside for washer dryer. We're not assuming that we're going to get a washer dryer and a refrigerator and a microwave and this stuff. A lot of that's half and half. Sometimes you're going to get that shit. Sometimes you're not. So then we have X amount of money set aside for that. So it's like all our bases are covered. But then then I was like getting discouraged, and I'm starting to think like I need to wait until wintertime to do this because
Hmm.
the idea had been proposed to me that a lot of shit that's you're gonna slow down a little bit as soon as the school season starts because people don't want to move during so that's why houses are just flying off the fucking shelves right now. I mean, the average
Jeez.
house here in Portland is like 3 or 4 days, and it gets put into pending. You know what I mean? So it's like as soon as they're fucking posted, they're sold essentially. Bam. And so then I went down this like, well, what could I invest this money in? Like short-term investments. You know what I mean? To like what I get down that path. Like, and then not only, okay, let's not say the whole bunch of the money. Let's just say 10 grand. Like, and I could set that money aside and just like, but then I was looking into like what I looked into stocks and shit, and I'm like, I don't know, it just seemed weird. I read about how that shit works, and
Yep.
essentially like the main way is you'd get a broker, and then you just give him the money, and he fucking blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
Um, but then I was like, you know what? You know what? Like I was like, so then I looked up like, what's the highest bet you can do on a roulette table?
Oh, that's a terrible idea. The highest.
Okay, let me run some numbers across you real quick because I'm a roulette champion. Like I've played a lot of
Oh,
roulette in my life. So
uh-huh.
the odds are and I can guarantee statistically that technically I can make those odds a little better, but the base odds are if there is 37 numbers on a table.
Uh-huh.
Um, so there's 0, double 0, and then 1 through 36. There's 38 numbers, but for some reason the odds come out to a 1 in 37 chance. Like that's the payout in roulette. Is if you bet a
Okay.
single fucking number, it pays 1 to 37. So
Yeah.
if you put, $10 down, you're going to get $370, you know,
Right.
on your money.
What if you
So
just do if you just say a color?
a color is
What's the
50%.
Oh yeah, okay.
Okay, do you know
Okay.
how roulette works? Do you legitimately not
Yes,
know?
it's a wheel.
No, 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 no. I'm saying, do you really understand how the game works? Like, aside from black, white, because
No, I just know that
I'm fucking huge roulette. This is okay. Let me tell. Let's go do
usually
a real.
just
Let's go do a.
put it on black or put it on
Okay,
red.
that's fucking retarded. That's absolutely dumb.
Okay.
Because that is 50%, but technically it's under that percentage because you have the
Right.
green ones. So you're like
Right.
49%. But you're never going to make any money. That's stupid. Blackjack's a fucking stupid game. Like it's such a
Yep.
horseshit game. And people saying that roulette is the lowest odds on it don't understand all the games. Like fuck that.
Hmm.
You can okay. So
Okay.
I'm gonna throw some shit out of you. This is how I play roulette, and I've won a lot of money on roulette. I've definitely lost a lot of money, but I've won a lot of money on roulette. And then so
First of all, blackjack's a fun game.
roulette
That's
is
the thing.
fun as fuck. Roulette is so
Well,
fun. But
blackjack's
you got to
fun.
you got to get away from the black and white. The real fun in this is my theory, is it is fun to play the inside of the table, but really when you play the inside of the table, is kind of like doing what I'm doing, just more sporadically and there's more movement. But so there's an inside of the table and there's an outside of the table on roulette. So if you look at a roulette table, there's all the numbers in the middle, 1 through 36, or yeah, 1 through 36, and then just
Uh-huh.
red, black, red, black, red, black, and there's 3 rows, and then
Oh, yeah.
so if you're looking at it, it's gonna go 1, 2, 3 in the first row, and then the next one's gonna be 4, 5, 6, and then so on and so forth, all the way through 36. So at the
Uh-huh.
bottom of a roulette board, it says 1 and 2 in the first column, and then 1 and 2 in the second, and then 1 and 2 in the
Yeah.
third one, and then
Yeah.
if you look at it sideways, 1 through 12 has first and 12 next to it, and then
Yeah. Yep.
13 through and then so those odds work out to being a 1 in 3. So if you put $10 on a first and 12 bet,
Right.
you're going to make $30 on that. You're going to make, $30 on
But it's
that bet.
30% chance of winning.
Yes, 33% chance of winning, but minus the 0 double 0, so you're at about a 30% chance somewhere in there. You know what I mean?
I see. Okay. I've played
Okay,
roulette
but
before, and
this is how
I've
you
placed
do it.
those bets.
This
Yeah.
is how you do it, dude. This is my favorite way to play, and I've made a lot of money playing this way. Is you go in with
Okay.
a buddy. You go in with a buddy, and pretty much any roulette table is going to have a screen on it that shows
Yeah.
the last like 20 rolls that have
Yep.
rolled out. And then so you want to go to a casino with at least 2 roulette tables. So you go with a buddy, and then you sit there and you just watch the roulette tables for a while. and wait till zeros completely clear out of the screens to where there's no more zeros on that screen, or to where zeros haven't hit in a long time. So statistically speaking, out of two tables, the odds of a zero coming up is a pretty high chance in the next 10 rounds. So then what you do is you slip your buddy $100, and you say, I want you to take this $100. You're going to go over to the other table, and you're going to put a $10 bet on 0-0 split for the until you're out for the next 5 games, or 10 games, or whatever. However long it takes you to run out of that. The second you fucking hit, you cash out your chips, you come back to me. The amount of times I've hit by doing that with someone, dude, almost every time it hits. And that that works out to, it's 0-0 split is not 1 in 37. It's actually, it would be 5 times 37. So whatever that works out, just under $200 or something like that.
Yeah.
So
When it says like, okay, just going off colors, when it says like the last 4 winners have been black, you're saying you should bet on red?
well, statistically speaking, yes, the odds each time it goes, yes, are higher on that.
See, I don't know
There
if
is
that's true.
okay. The problem, I think, like whatever you want to say, I think I'm relatively good at understanding statistics on shit, and
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
and
I'm
roulette
not.
is all about just overtime statistics on something hitting. You know what I mean? And yes, if you look at the base game without any games played previous to that, then it is just 50% red black. Red and black's a bullshit bet to begin with. You're
Yeah,
never
yeah.
going to make any real money that way. So,
Right.
which is also my
Right.
problem with blackjack. Unless you can fucking count cards, it's fucking stupid. Like it's a dumb game. It's just a 50% win lose win lose. You're gonna lose. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The odds are in their favor. Like and
Well, I think,
more odds. So
yeah.
anyways, what I'm saying is this is what I want to do. I have 10 grand. It would be a horrible fucking move to lose 10 grand, but I have the 10 grand and I could lose it. I could do this. If I take
That's
the 10 grand, which you can find, I think I might have to go to Vegas for this. I almost called the casino down here. We have a lot of casinos close, but I need to
yeah.
find a place that you can do a max bet because there's usually a minimum bet, but there's also a max bet. And on a roulette
Right.
table, a max bet's a big fucking deal because if you do a 1 in 37, at $10,000, that is a fucking shitload of money. I think
Yeah.
that comes out to $370,000 is what that would be. So
Yeah.
that's my
Fuck
plan.
you.
Is to go
No.
there, wait like 20 rounds, and just fucking. So you would make the odds. It's a 1 in 37th chance. But technically, if you wait out the zero and play the zero, you could make it more like a 1 in 30 chance. So you have a 1 in 30 chance at one time in your life to just take $10,000 and get a fucking house. Is essentially what would happen. In one go, you could just get fucking over $250,000, a third of $1 million.
Yes, yes, yes.
Done
So
in
what would
fucking
happen?
10 seconds. And yes, it would.
Yeah,
It's a dude. And
dude.
then okay. And here is my also my next argument to it, which I think completely validates the whole fucking thing. You could make this into a YouTube video, and it would be a very unique YouTube video, an extremely unique YouTube video, guaranteed that you're actually going to get some fucking views on that, like guaranteed. No
Yes.
one's really done that shit. You know what I mean? That pushes us. That fucking huge video right there. Huge fucking video. Bam, done.
Right.
That's $10,000 well fucking spent in my mind. And
Well,
if I
posted
did
on
it,
our
dude, then now think about this video. We have a 1 in 30 chance that if it actually fucking hits and we're videotaping that shit,
yeah.
we're definitely getting 1 million views on that. Because you put me in a fucking casino and I just win just under $400,000, I'm
Yeah.
fucking punching someone in the fucking face. You know what I mean? I'm freaking the fuck out. So I think it's a win-win no matter what. Like, no matter what. And if I lose, the video is going to be pretty fucking good too. Because I'm going to be real fucking pissed off. Like, I'm not going to be having a good day. Not going to be having a good day. It's a
Yeah.
win-win. It's a win-win no matter what happens.
Did that guy just
You-
win $300,000? Yeah. Why is he punching people?
Just,
What the fuck?
ah, woo, woo,
Dude, what would happen with me is I'd be standing there and we'd be watching for 20 spins and then you'd be like, okay, it's time, go, go. And I would just be like, and the chips would all just fall out of my hands because of sweat.
Oh
and I
no,
would just be
I wouldn't tell
panicking.
you to do it. I'm just telling you basic rules. That first rant was just basic rules of roulette. Oh, I'd be the one doing it. It would be, yeah,
I
I'd
know.
fucking.
I'm just saying, if I was doing it,
Oh,
after I would be standing there in that spot watching, that I wouldn't be able to move after that. It wouldn't be like go time. I can't put that much money down. I know the
dude,
feeling of I know the feeling of leaving the casino after you've lost way more than you can afford, and I hate that feeling. It's
yeah.
so uncontrollably just deep, like
Oh,
down
I
in the
know.
depth.
I know.
Yeah,
But now push it to a fucking real limit, bro. Like, push it, like, get real with it. Like, really face your fucking face, dude, the fucking emotion you would go through. No one would have ever experienced that in their life. Like, never. You would, to do that maneuver, literally no one you've ever met has done something like that. You know what I mean? Like, no
yeah,
one. You were in the
yeah.
top 0.0001% of people that have experienced anything like that. Any amount of emotion fluctuation like that. Like, I don't care if, someone in your family died of cancer. Like, you would have not have been able to experience fucking a instant. Well, okay, that's a rough thing. I mean, that's a rough comparison. But still,
Yeah.
your fucking heart would go. You probably, if you did it over the age of 50, you'd probably have a fucking heart attack and die. Like,
Here's my strategy. What I do is with blackjack. Here's the trick. Say you have a bunch of money. You put $100 down on a hand and you lose it. Next hand, put $200 down. Next hand, put $400 down. Eventually, you'll bump up. You know what I mean? As long as you have the bank to keep doing that, you'll cover your losses, which I've done before when I fucked myself by being like, I'm just gonna go put $100 on a hand, and I lost it. I was like, the only way to recover from this right now is to put 200 down and then put 400 down and dig yourself out of that hole.
yeah,
It
that's
works.
horrible, horrible advice.
But it works, doesn't it?
No, it does not
Eventually,
work.
you're gonna win. Eventually, you're gonna win a hand.
Eventually, you're gonna win, but
Yeah,
you're just saying you're only focusing on the 100 and the 200 and the 400 as like
yeah.
your losers, and you're like, oh, but once I hit 800, if I hit that, it pays for everything. Well, if you lose 800, now you've lost it. Okay, like
No, if you double up, I don't know. I'm terrible at math. Chris, who's listening right now, is fucking shitting himself. I don't know. I'm terrible. Is my audio cutting out when you talk?
but you're winning. The amount you would be winning versus what the amount of money you're spending would be like. I don't know how the statistics would work out on that, but like let's say if you lost 800
Uh
and
huh.
then you won 1600. Yes, this or
Yes.
16 is going to cover the.
Yes.
Well, no, it still wouldn't cover that. The 16, if you had lost 804, well, I guess if you'd won, I don't know. Now I'm going to have to like kind of get a
Yeah.
piece of
Write it
paper
down.
and jot that one out.
Yeah. There's your system. There's your
Oh,
fucking system, yo. I don't know. Roulette. I've played roulette
but
and
but
I've
okay,
made
but
those bets.
the problem is if you don't do a crazy fucking bet, like a one-time crazy bet, the
Right.
amount of money you're going to win isn't shit. Like it isn't anything. Like
Well,
yes,
I think the problem with blackjack is the longer you play, the more like you're gonna lose. So the thing to do would be to play like two hands or three hands and leave. The longer you sit there, you have a lesser chance of fucking like winning. I think you got to do like the one big one or the two or the three.
unless you can legitimately like count cards. But
Yeah,
you can even like not be that smart and kind of well no you can like I mean a normal person could kind of count cards like if you just take if you
yeah,
I mean if you had a piece of paper and you just sat there and I believe it's four decks of
yeah,
cards it's either four or five decks of cards you could sit
yeah,
there and get a rough idea statistically what's going to
yeah,
come up like what are the odds of you just go five times however many face cards are in a deck so
yeah.
you know what I mean
You're
in
just counting
tens
face cards. Yeah,
yeah.
I don't know. That's scary. Put it in crypto.
Put it in crypto? I don't trust that shit.
One day we're gonna have a crypto conversation. Is my audio cutting out when you're talking?
No, no, not bad. Not bad at all.
Okay. So, um, Jesus, we're moving right along, aren't we? Um, all right. If I ask you a question, do you want any kind of warning about it, or you just want to answer it honestly?
Yeah, I don't give a shit. Yeah, throw it at me.
Okay. Even saying that is just too much to even that was just too much. But would you rather live in an ugly, disgusting house with a beautiful, perfect view, or live in a perfect, beautiful house with an ugly, disgusting view? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Perfect house, ugly view, or ugly house, perfect view? You're thinking about it too much. Now you know that it's a tricky question.
Well, it is a tricky question because I mean, you got to go further. Like, what do you mean ugly house? Like ugly house, but I still get to have a music studio in it? Because then yes, then we're good to go.
Like
Uh,
falling apart is like the eyesore of the neighborhood. Just a
but
dump.
in like wherever I imagine it could be, in fucking Jamaica on a private beach
You
by
have
my,
when you open the front door with your cup of
it's
coffee in the
whatever
morning,
you could imagine it could be.
the most perfect view in the world.
Yeah, perfect view.
Or the perfect house
Yeah,
with an ugly
perfect,
view.
perfect view.
Okay.
Because to me, you're saying I can pick anywhere on the planet.
Yeah.
And it's just like, yes, then I'm on a beach in fucking,
Okay.
the Cayman Islands with a fucking shit shack, but I have like the best
Yep.
piece of property on the Cayman Islands. Fucking done. Done and done.
Okay. You answered it correctly. So that's good. It's supposed to be like a deeper psychological question to where if someone picks the perfect house with the ugly view, then they view themselves as sort of being like flawless and perfect, and that the world's kind of ugly. And if they choose the ugly house, it's saying that they accept that they have flaws, but they can see, like, I don't know, like goals that they're supposed to obtain and stuff like that, and that they're kind of a fixer upper, which everybody is. That's supposed to be the deeper meaning behind the question. So you guys can ask that to your friends and see what they say. I think when I answered it, I think I said perfect house, but I can't
Yeah,
remember.
but I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah. No, 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 no. I don't remember what I answered. It was a long time ago.
So,
But yeah.
um, do you have anything with the I mean, I don't even know if we want to talk about this. Sometimes I write shit down and then it comes to podcast time and I'm like, I don't even want to talk about this. You know what I mean? It's not even that cool I'm not even that into it. But do you have any thoughts on the Ellen thing?
You know what? Kind of.
So
I don't really know too much of what's happening. I saw a TikTok, not Jesus talk. You know what I hate more than anything when I open TikTok and I see some fucking 20-year-old girl.
Oh my
Anyway,
God.
I saw a thing on there where it was like Ellen went to some restaurant and then days later she called back the manager there and complained about her waitress's chipped fingernails and like got the lady fired. I don't know. I don't know too much about what's going on, but I was thinking the other day about my generation wanting to cancel people, and I was just like, you know what I hope? I hope you people, speaking to everybody my age and younger, I'm like, I hope you people cancel so many people that you're left with zero entertainment. Zero. I hope you cancel Ellen and Joe Rogan and Kevin Hart and fucking everybody. Cancel all of them. That all you're left with is Taylor Swift and fucking Jimmy Fallon. Because me, I have
This
decades and
is
decades
this
of
is
radio and podcasts to listen to, and I'll be fine. I'll play Madden
this is
21 and
this
listen
is
to
why
old
you
radio.
this is why you picked the nice house at the shitty view. Is exactly this.
Look, I'll listen to. I have decades, literally decades of talk radio to listen to, I'll listen to it and play Madden 21 for the rest of my life. I'll be fine. And I'll only watch shit that's already been made because I was thinking the other day I could probably spend the rest of my life watching shit that's already been made without watching all of it. So I hope you just cancel everybody and are left with zero entertainment. Nothing will make me happier. But that being said, I don't really know what the fuck's going on with the Ellen thing. But if she's a mean dictator, shitty boss, then fuck her. I don't
Yeah.
give a shit. But I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, this is just, yeah, so anybody that doesn't know, I'm sure everyone does know, but Ellen is just getting shit on for saying, people are saying that she's really fucking mean to her staff and she's a bitch, but then she treats rich people,
Yeah.
really good, but she does this full fake thing, and they're like, and the reason everyone's so pissed is because that's like what she promotes. She promotes being this good, kind fucking person, but she really isn't at heart. Well, most people are coming out and defending her and saying like, no, she's actually a pretty badass bitch. You know what I mean? Um,
Hmm. Well, I don't
you
think
know,
she's funny, but that's
I
just me.
I think she's an enjoyable. She seems sincere to me. When you see her, she doesn't seem fake to me. I'm sure there's production value and shit in what she's doing, but I don't get so many people. I get a sense of like, they're just gross fucking people. Ellen, I don't get that. I really think I would enjoy her. Like if I met her in real life, I really think I'd like her. Like I'll
Yeah.
defend, but then really it just gets to the cancel.
What if she was your boss? What if she was your boss though?
But okay, and then another point I want to make is like when you do something that takes incredible talent and incredible discipline, you're allowed to be a dick. Like you're
Yeah.
allowed to be an asshole. Like when
Yeah.
like you're not this like people that are fucking dicks just like or that make shit hard for other people. It's not their job to change and be this fucking nice person and watch what they say because you're a fucking pussy. Like it's not their responsibility. Like if you don't like it, that's the beautiful about like the world we live in or like at least America with like capitalism. Quit your fucking job then. Go somewhere
Yeah.
else. Start your own company. Do what she did. Become rich. Like and fuck you with this like, well, you can't become rich, it's all rigged. Maybe why I hate the Bukowski thing is because yes, you can. The fucking amount of people that you see day to day, that have complete gone from dog shit, and usually that's the case. Is they've gone from fucking the worst of the worst and become the best of the best, and it's such a
Yeah.
cool story. And everyone
Yeah.
just well, I didn't, and it's the people that have they're fucking the baby boomers just took care of them so hard and just gave them everything they wanted. They're the ones that bitched the most, that have it like legitimately the easiest, that are still living in their parents' fucking basement, and that are never going to amount to anything because they're living in their parents' basement and there's no drive to do anything. But then you want to cancel like Ellen. Like first off, if she is a bitch, so what? Like who gives a fuck? Like I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
If she's mad, if she's mean to her employees, then fucking quit your job. You don't have to fucking work there. Like you don't. And then
Yeah.
so, but then like just cancel culture makes me so fucking mad. But what had happened?
That's
I
what I was
didn't.
saying.
But what? And I haven't really cared about this topic. But then I saw something, a tweet that was going around that I just like. To me, just this is it. This is where we're at as a society. It touches on like 2 points. Is so someone found a tweet from Ellen from 2009, and the tweet says, I didn't write exactly what it says, but it says something to the effect of like, today at work I made an employee cry, and it's never made me feel so good, or something like that. And it's
Oh god.
like, and fucking people just start retweeting the shit out of it. Well, the fucking
Right.
story behind the tweet is she fucking went to work and fucking did an all expenses paid vacation and cruise for one of the ladies that works underneath her, and fucking made
Yeah.
her cry. And like so it was just so funny. Like it's just like, oh my
Yeah.
god. And people like, so two things there. The cancel culture is fucking bullshit, but then also that is just the perfect fucking the epitome of like where we are as a society is like scrolling through shit. We don't fucking read into anything. It's just headline,
Yeah.
bam, take headline. Well, I obviously know everything about this now. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
then this is my point of view that I got this fucking one sentence out of here, and now I'm gonna run with it for and try to cancel someone's fucking like I don't know. It's just so silly. It's so fucking silly.
It's It's weird that we want it, that in this country we love to see the underdog rise to the top, you know, come from shit and rise to the being the best of the best. But then at the same time, we love to see the tear down too and just tear them
So
down.
recent though, so recent. It's like
Yeah,
I think it started really. I think the guy, the first one I can like really remember when it was like brutal was what was the guy? He like owned a sports team and like he had a wife and he told his wife
yeah,
not to be on Instagram with fucking black people or something like that.
yeah. He owned the Clippers. I don't remember what his name was. And it was like his girlfriend, his young hot girlfriend, and he was just saying like don't bring them to the games or don't
Yeah,
and
don't get
don't
on
put them on,
Instagram with them.
yeah,
Don't
don't
post
put them on.
anything on Instagram.
I forget what that guy's name was. Yeah, that's interesting because that was before any kind of Me Too stuff. But the NBA came together and stripped him of his team.
That was
That's
like one of the first ones. That was like one of the first guys that like got shit on.
yeah. Um,
Man, this happened so quick too. You know, it
Donald
just like
Sterling. Donald Sterling. I couldn't even remember that name.
I know his
That's crazy.
face. I don't know his name. That didn't even ring any bells.
But it was like Bill Burr had a bit
Yeah,
about
it's
it.
one of my favorite bits.
It
Yeah,
yeah, in the his my favorite special by Bill Burr where he was just like this guy was born in like the 30s or whatever, you know.
yeah,
Why would you expect what do you expect him to say? You
yeah,
expect him to have crazy progressive view about everything?
yeah,
No. He's been taught this his whole entire life kind of stuff. Like old religion, whatever, whatever. He's been taught. Donald Sterling, that's crazy. I mean,
yeah.
if there's a legitimate reason to tear someone down, I don't. I'm on your side. But the thing is, I haven't heard enough from Ellen. If she's just a bully and a dickhead, I don't think that's a legitimate reason. There's, you know how many bosses out there? I'd still rather probably work for Ellen than some manager at a Taco Bell that's like fucking berating you
No, I mean
constantly.
that's my problem. Is like, and that's my problem. Is like, is yes, that exactly. But the real problem is like it's real. People have a real hard time. Like once you start making a few steps, it just fucking everything crumbles apart. It's how like everything works. And so it's like
Yeah,
just stop it. Stop it with all of it. Like you know what I mean? Let people make their decisions up for themselves. You know, it's like fucking Louis C.K. Are you fucking kidding me? Like to me, that's ridiculous. That whole thing is absolute bullshit. I do not give a fuck. I really do not give a fuck. Like
yeah,
using your fucking power to like you just fuck that. Like no, same deal. Walk away. Just walk away. He didn't rape anybody. He fucking
right.
masturbated in front of people, and they're like, well, he used his power over people. The same thing with the what is the not Epstein? What's the Hollywood guy that was fucking cat like banging all the
Yeah, I'm not going down. I'm not getting on board with him with you. I'm not doing it. Louis
dude? What are
C.K.
you
I'll,
talking? No, what are you talking about? Like same deal. Like, dude, he didn't rape anybody. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, I just don't give a fuck. Like, you don't have to do it. You don't have to do it. Like,
yeah, but
I get that it's a little unfair, but oh my god, like, who
the
gives a
thing
shit?
I think the thing is that shouldn't be the gateway to being a hit actress. So someone has to step in and say, "Hey, this can't be the gateway. This you can't go through you, through sex with you. It has to go other ways, like talent." So someone has to step in and say, "Stop that. Stop doing that."
Yeah, yeah. I guess
It shouldn't be
I
that
don't.
shouldn't be the gate. That shouldn't be the road to
And I guess
success.
I give even less of a shit because I think all those people are just fucked up. You know, like it's a bunch of people that are fucking horrible people yelling at other horrible people for what they're doing, and I just don't. I think they're all bullshit. They're all fake people that like are so
Yeah,
self-absorbed and egotistical, and then they're
yeah,
out pointing fingers at other people for how egotistical and fucked up they are. It's like, and then they're like getting all these fucking people to back them up, and it's like, no, you're all pieces of shit. Like, shut the fuck up. Stop talking. Like the
they love to. You love to see the teardown. That's why you hate Tom Brady. You hate the Warriors. When Kevin Durant tears his ACL, people are clapping in the stands. Like people love to see the teardown. That's why you're sitting in your mom's basement retweeting it, being like, "Fuck you, Ellen, fucking stupid bitch." But then the another big one is the Kevin Hart thing, which is why I don't know if it was the Oscars last year or the year before, we were deprived of getting Kevin Hart as the host, which
which was
Chris Rock was an incredible Oscars host, and we would have loved to see Kevin Hart do like an opening monologue where he's like, you know, fucking, talking shit about all the actors or whatever that are in the room. But then they're like, no, because you had anti-gay tweets like 10 years ago. And like there was so much push against him to be the host that he just finally said, and the Academy was still like, no, we're still going with Kevin Hart. And there was still so much stuff going against him of fuck him, don't let him do that, he's anti-gay. And the Academy was like standing by him, and then he was finally just like, I'm not doing it. I'm backing out
I
myself.
thought the guy from The Office was the guy who replaced him, and that's when he went on that big old fucking rant. I thought, am I?
No, that was the Golden Globes, and that was recently. That was kind of recent. Kevin Hart was like a year or so ago.
I
That was
thought,
Ricky Gervais.
yeah, Ricky Gervais. I
Yeah.
thought he was the replacement for.
No. No, with the Kevin Hart one, when he backed out and said I'm not doing it, then the Oscars just said, "Okay, we're not having a host anymore. Now we're just going to have multiple people come up all the time to give the awards. We're not having like one host." And it was like, "Now we have no host. Great. Now we have no fucking host. I
Well,
hope you guys
I
just cancel
I
everybody
bet
and are
Ricky
left with
Gervais
nobody."
probably had a lot to do with that. Like that whole thing was, I couldn't believe it. I showed that all to my girlfriend the other day, and she didn't know anything about it. And I'm like, you never saw any of this? I was like, it's fucking
Yeah.
incredible. It's one of the best things I've ever seen happen throughout history. Like, I loved it. I love that man. He's such an awesome person to like take that
Yeah.
platform and literally ruin his chances of like, you know what I mean, ever doing anything like that again. Like, and
Yeah.
probably pissed off a shitload of people in that
Yeah.
room, like that he will never be able to work with again.
The smart thing he did, which a lot of people don't do, but to me, it's pretty obvious to do, is you play to the audience at home and not the audience in your room. So you know your audience, and who's your audience? The 150 people in the room or the millions of people watching? You choose the million people watching.
Yeah.
I think that's his idea,
It
which
was the
was
best
smart.
thing I've ever heard. And yeah, I like it was just yeah. And yeah, there's so many people at home just like, "Yeah! Woo! Get him, brother." You know what I mean? Fuck those people. Like yeah, that whole bit about like if ISIS started a talent agency, you'd all be fucking phoning your agent tomorrow. Like, dude, it's the fucking best thing ever. Like, I loved it, and it to me it was like I was so happy to hear that. Like, just like it's what I've been preaching for so long. Is like I don't fucking care about you people. Shut up. Like, I hate all
Yeah.
of you. Like, you don't have room to talk. Your fucking like Hollywood bubble that you've created, and you somehow convince other people to get on board with your like fucking woke shit. Fuck you. Fuck off.
Yeah. He's like, Jesus, you people don't even have as much education as Greta Thunberg. Um,
Um,
so I have
so
something else. I'm not even really feeling it. It
okay,
just feels like it hasn't been thought through. Um, um, so it's kind of an idea, but it's not my idea. It's someone else's idea. But you know
Jesus
how
talk.
I'm no. So you know what I hate more than anything is fucking opening that goddamn app and seeing some 19-year-old girl. But um so when this is going to kind of start with a story and lead back to someone else's idea that wasn't mine. When I was like a young person, like 12 years ago, in like 2008, um, and this is just pulling back the curtain more than I'd fucking like to. I kind of just fell for this girl really, really hard. And it was like really bad situation, kind of. And we can get into that another time maybe, but it was like really dark fucked up shit um going on kind of at the time, and that happened, and that was kind of the first time like Brad and depression kind of met each other and shook hands and said hello. But a few years after that, I met somebody else that I was working with at the time in Idaho, and I kind of started to feel like I was feeling that kind of thing again. That was like this, that it, kind of an unhealthy thinking kind of way.
Dude, it
Very
seems
vague.
like you're trying very hard not to use the word love in all of this whole thing. Like, seems like you're really
Yeah.
skirting around that, like using any way you could describe around love. Like, the feeling you get when you feel really, good about someone and you just get these feelings.
Well, okay. I'll say love for the first thing, but the second thing, no. I was just kind of saying, oh, I don't want this to be a repeat of what happened a few years ago. So, and I was like, what I need to do is find something to do with myself instead of, just sitting home alone and just thinking about this person. I need something to occupy my mind. I need a hobby. So I was like, why don't I fucking just take music lessons or something? Like, as a way to just sort of give myself a challenge to wrap my head around instead of just wrapping my head around someone else. So I was like, well, what kind of instrument do I want to play? And this is all just, it's not even through wanting to learn a musician. It's just about, giving myself a hardcore challenge. I'm like, well, maybe like piano or drums or something. And I was like, oh, I should probably go drums. So I Googled like drum lessons in Sandpoint, Idaho. And I don't know if it was the first option I saw or the or whatever, but I just made a phone call. And this is like, at the time, it's like a phone call for a fucking, it was like a lifeline. Like, I need this person to answer the phone and I need to start taking drum lessons now so I'm not just sitting and fucking my head spinning. This is way too much curtain pulling back for Brad. And even though it's very vague. Anyway, a fucking magnificent human being answered that call and I started drum lessons, right? And I took them for 2 years, which is insane because I don't think I ever really became a good drummer at all. I enjoyed the lessons, and I definitely think I, learned and progressed, and then kind of just hit a wall and probably just stayed there for like the second year, like not breaking through. But it was a fun thing to do, and a lot of times half the lessons would just be talking about crazy shit, like I don't know, Michael Jackson or the moon landing or crazy stuff like that, which was like, then I kind of started going there for that, and it was like really cool. It was like the guy that taught me was like top 5 greatest human beings I've ever met. But he had an idea once that he told me about, and I was like, "Fuck, that's a genius fucking idea." And I think you should do it. I think like let's do that. But his kind of thing was like I had the idea a long time ago, like episode 3 or whatever. Like let's just all say fuck society and move out and start our own little village somewhere, like the movie The Village, but without the monsters, and we get some tech in the thing. But kind of a different twist on that idea is sort of just starting a community within a community. So I think, and it would have to be done correctly. But I think it's actually a really good idea because then as life progresses, I hit other points in my life, like literally hit one point where I needed a lawyer. And we might go into that another time too, who knows. But I was like, I need a lawyer, even someone you can just call on the phone. And my aunt is a vet. And there's been multiple times when I've called her on the phone and asked her and be like, the dog is fucking, his nails just fell off. Like there's blood everywhere. And you need a vet. So I'm like, some things you need. And Vince, I've used Vince as a mechanic for I don't know how many times in my life. But I'm like, how many things does someone need that they can just pick up the phone and call like a friend that's like an accountant, a lawyer, a doctor, a vet, a mechanic, and there's other ones to think about. So his kind of idea was like, why don't a bunch of people get together in and like have a giant group, and this could literally be like hundreds of people, and it's like you don't have to pay to be in the group, but when you need something, all you have to do is call. And say someone like me who has no talents, no skills, really, say the lawyer of the group is moving, instead of hiring a moving company, he can just call the group and someone like me can go help him move or something like that, and have it on like a large scale, like within a city, to where whenever you need anything, you can just call someone in that group. But when someone in the group needs something, you have to answer the call as well. And it's kind of a weird, rough idea, but I think if it was done correctly, that it could be like a game changer
Yeah,
because of those things you hit in life where
I
you're like,
totally
I need
disagree with all of this.
why?
Because it wouldn't work. It doesn't work.
Why?
Okay, there's two ways this goes about. Is one, you start letting people into this. You create this group. The only way it would work is if you created a group and it was like, skull and crossbones style, to where you didn't let the peons in. You know what I mean? You only were
Well, yeah,
allowed. You were only allowed in the group if you had a very good talent, like doctor, lawyer, fucking blah 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 blah. But if you just like work at Taco Bell, literally you can't offer anything to anybody in the group. You're not allowed in because, and then the whole like thing. Well, then if you're moving, you could call them. Like, well, no, but then it would just get crowded with fucking people, and then the doctor would be getting called all fucking day long for free, and he wouldn't be making any money, couldn't support himself or whatever. But if you could keep that group to under 50 people, 50 like super qualified people in all these fields and like
yeah,
all different things, to where then they could have this group, which is essentially having friends. Essentially the same thing. Like,
yeah. But sometimes you don't have a lawyer friend.
yeah, you don't, but then that's on you. You know what I mean? So you start becoming friends with, better people. But then, it wouldn't work if people crowded the whole deal. But then it wouldn't work if you did it if you didn't accept anybody into it, because then inevitably everyone's just going to hate you. You know what I mean? Then the cancel culture is going to come along and be like, look at these fucking people. You know what I mean? Look at these assholes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So no, I'm definitely not saying allow everybody into it. You know, you can't have 200 people in there with no skills that are
Yeah,
just
but
siphoning off resources from that group.
you have a lot
You
of
know what I mean?
utopian ideas. You know that? You come up with a
That
lot of
sounds.
like, you have a lot of utopian ideas. I
Oh,
don't think utopia shit at all. I used to when I was young. I had like weird. I'd think about utopia shit. I've given up on all that. I don't think it's possible.
well, it's not a
The
utopia.
only way it's possible is like indigenous style. Is fucking all electronics, everything out, everything out, and you just go live
Yeah,
with a cloth on a beach, and you just fish all day and hunter gatherer society. That's the only way
yeah,
like utopian shit works. Once you want products and stuff, yeah, shit
yeah.
gets real sketchy. Shit gets real
That's
sketchy.
true. No, I'm saying it. I'm not saying my way, the way that I just described, is the right way. I'm saying it would have to be done the right way. So it's like, say a doctor, say the doctor of the group gets a call every week for like 2 months. Someone needs to be monitoring this and regulating it, and be like, okay, that guy he's paid off for a while. Move to the next doctor, kind of thing. And like that guy, now he's kind of owed since he's given. So it's like I can't just spend my whole time in the group helping people move and never asking questions. Someone needs to be like a secretary or like an administrator needs to be like, okay, he's helped out multiple times now. We're not going to use him anymore, and regulate it a little bit. And it's not
Yeah.
a utopia because you're still living in North Dakota or Portland. You're still going about everyday life. You don't do this thing on a weekly basis. It's like for
You know what the best way to do this is? Because inevitably you're just gonna run into hiccup after hiccup after hiccup after hiccup. You know what I mean? And you're just gonna have to figure out how to deal with that hiccup. Because like right now you're on hiccup one, and you're gonna have to get like a secretary to like, do all this shit.
keep track.
Well then, how does the secretary, what resolves all her time? Because now she just spent all this time. You know what I mean? Like taking care of and making sure all this shit works out. You know what? This is all these problems you're coming up with
That's her
have
contribution to the
no, no.
group.
All these problems have already like been solved. We already figured this out. In about 1776 when we, wrote up the
What?
Constitution, and like we decided, well, we need currency, and you need,
Oh,
and then blah blah blah. So if you need a doctor, well, then you go to a job, and you go make money to pay for the doctor, so that
yes.
you can get the service, and you like kind of live in this community. Maybe we'll call it a community that you all live in, and then maybe someone in that community could be a lawyer, and then if you need his services, maybe you could be the mover in the community. But so you go move for these people, and then when you need a doctor, you call the doctor, and then let's say you need a lawyer sometime, in that community, you like call the lawyer, and then you get that lawyer. And then, then you don't really even need a secretary because we'll just let currency kind of deal with all that.
Yeah, but the current that's the like it's not
No,
like
you
oh
just
I
want
need
you want some utopian society minus
not like
currency. Is
it's
like
not
the
like
whole
oh
thing. But you know what solves all the problems
oh,
that come up with no currency is just having currency.
it's not like oh I need heart surgery, I'm gonna call the fucking group. No, it's like you need there's times in your life when you need just a quick reference to call.
Yeah.
So it's like, or like a Vince to come over, be like, something's wrong with my car. Can you look at it? Can I drive over there? I'll buy you dinner. Can you fix this? Kind of thing. Instead of
Okay.
going and standing in the mechanic shop and dropping your car off and dealing with all this bullshit, like it's kind of nicer to have the buddy there. I'm not saying like you need heart surgery, you call the group. You have your own doctor you go to for like prescriptions or whatever, but I don't know. There's been multiple
I'm
times
just
when
I'm
I
just
needed
being
a
an
vet.
ass. I get what you're saying.
Yeah. I need because my aunt being a vet has helped out multiple times owning a dog. I don't know. It's a good idea. It just
Um,
has to be executed correctly.
Mormon Church. There you go. See, I was
And you
talking
brought
about
that
this.
up.
I was talking about this last week. Is that's kind of how that works. They figured it out too. So go dress in some white clothes. Go down to the temple. Get baptized. I don't know if you've been baptized. Start owning up to your own sins, and
Uh-huh.
you're in. You're in. Then when you need a doctor, you just hit up the bishop and be like, "Yeah, there's something wrong here," and he'll be like, "Oh, I'm gonna go hit up, Steve. Steve's a
Yeah,
doctor."
but they charge you.
Well, no tithings. You don't have to pay tithings. But the
Uh,
more tithings you put in, that more that doctor friend's going to be more inclined to help you. Because you got to help the community. You need to pay the secretary to delve this shit out for everybody. So that's
that's
where
her
the tithings,
contribution. Then when
tithings,
she needs a lawyer, she can call.
tithings.
Look, yeah. And that's interesting that you say like, oh, just the small town you're in or whatever. There's your community, or I guess you're just your network of people, and it's on you to expand that. I don't
Yeah.
know. I still think there's something there.
Yeah,
There's
I,
something.
I do, but the problem is, I am going to say that you're going to run into problem after problem after problem, and the real way it's going to get divided properly is because then because then the doctor's inevitably going to get mad and be like, no, fuck this, fucking Joe Schmo at the fucking mechanic shop gets X amount of tokens for doing his calls, and then I get my tokens, and it'll be like, hey, look, bitch, I had to go to fucking grad school for this, you fucking asshole, and then the mechanics be like, hey, fuck you, buddy. And he's gonna be yeah, and then there's gonna be a whole fucking fight over tokens, and they're gonna be like, well, how many calls do I have to fucking take to be in this community? There's gonna be a whole fucking fight. You know what settles everything? Fucking currency settles it all, because then the doctor's just like, I want this amount of fucking money, and then the fucking mechanic goes, I want this amount of money, but then you get another mechanic that comes in and he's like, well, that bitch is charging too much for his tokens. Let's go to the other fucking capitalism, just working shit out, just working shit
Right.
out.
Yeah. I hear you. I'm gonna think about that. It's interesting. I'm trying to fix a society that's not exactly broken, or fix a system that's not broken.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of
Yeah.
people would totally disagree with you, but you know,
Right.
once they put down their Xbox, that communist piece of shit Xbox they're on, or that fascist fucking company.
Dude, I pre-ordered Madden 21. I am so stoked. And I hear word on the street is that you're a PC player now, playing League of Legends
Whoop
and
whoop.
fucking Rocket League.
Damn
So
right.
stupid.
You're
So
dumb.
stupid.
No one even likes you.
Rocket League? Ugh.
Rocket
Go
League is
back
a
to
fucking
Xbox.
American. No, I mean, I have
Oh,
my Xbox is literally sitting here and it just hasn't been turned on. There's no fucking reason to. I can fucking turn on my Xbox controller and it fucking links up with my computer so I can play any of the games. They're better. They run better. I have more fucking shit inside my computer than in that fucking Xbox. Like it runs way
right.
smoother. Fucking
Yeah.
Discord works way fucking better than Xbox Live fucking party system does. Like
Ugh.
the plus and minuses between PC and Xbox is just it's just, astronomical. Like it's tilted way heavy, way fucking heavy. So, you know
Right.
what? Now that, I've been kind of just on this fucking negative mood all podcast, just fucking really
What?
coming at you with everything you got, saying how bad of an idea it is. I'm pissed off at Bukowski. Fucking, no one will get behind me in my $10,000 fucking roulette bet. Um, fucking, TB. Let's talk about some TB, okay? Let's talk about it, because I've been fucking upset for a while about this shit.
TV?
Yeah, tuberculosis. The fucking
Oh.
bullshit. No, Taco Bell. Fucking Taco
Oh.
Bell. This fucking bullshit company. Dude.
I don't have a Taco Bell
Okay,
here.
but you can.
Wait.
I'm not the biggest fast food fan, but out of all of them, I think Taco Bell is pretty good. And everyone hates on McDonald's. I think McDonald's is way bigger, way better than Burger King or Carl's Jr. or any of the other like burger style restaurants. I think McDonald's is consistently better. You don't get the Burger King is a fucking garbage. You just like rolling the dice when you go to Burger King if it's gonna be a fucking 6 hour fucking patty they're putting on your fucking burger. Um,
I like
but
McDonald's
anyways,
coffee.
anyways, I've been going to fucking. That's disgusting. That's the most disgusting
What?
thing I've ever heard you say. Fucking don't even. We're not even going to talk about that. I'm already mad. I don't want to be that mad. So we're not going to talk about fucking you saying McDonald's coffee is good. It's fucking hot, and there's Jesus Christ. Jesus, I don't even want to hear it. I don't even want to.
Hot? What the fuck?
I don't even want to hear
All
it.
right,
That's the
move
most
on.
disgusting thing I've ever heard. But TB, fucking, let's say when I first was introduced to Taco Bell, my parents never took me to Taco Bell, so I didn't get introduced till I was like 17. 16 or 17 is the first time I ever had Taco Bell. Um,
Okay.
so they used to have fucking green onions, and so you used to be able to get a little bowl in the bean burrito, and in the fucking bowl, the bean bowl, there'd be green onions on it, and fucking you'd have onions and green onions on this dude. There's something like that, and they were so fucking good. Also, back in the day, they used to have a zesty steak taco or something like that. Holy fucking shit, it was good. No, it wasn't even on the menu. It was so fucking good. They just had this like one sauce. I can't even remember what it was, like the zesty green sauce. Dude, it like lime sauce. It was so fucking good. They discontinued all that shit like 2007 or something like that. So once they discontinued all that shit, I tried most of the things and it was like, fuck it. I kind of like the chalupas. They were all right. I always liked the spicy crunch wraps, Got rid of the
Yeah.
fucking spicy crunch wraps. So sometimes I just do the normal fucking crunch wraps. I'm already fucking irritated. They just keep taking shit away, dude. And then so after all that shit, I had to, figure out what my items were that I'd get. And I'd always get a double-decker taco, and I'd get a spicy potato soft taco. I'd usually go through, get 2 double-deckers and like 3 spicy potato soft tacos. They're fucking bomb. Love them. So goddamn good. So good.
Crispy potato soft taco?
Spicy potato soft taco.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it's just their potato chunks with lettuce, cheese, and spicy sauce on it. Fucking
Okay, yeah.
so goddamn good. And then double-decker taco, a regular taco with beans and shit like that. Like 3 months ago, they fucking discontinued the double-decker taco, which is bullshit because they still have the tortillas and they still have the fucking tacos and they still have the beans. They have everything there. Why would you?
Yeah.
Well, why? And yes, you
Yeah.
can go, but then you can go in and you could be like, I want a regular taco, and then add a tortilla, add beans. But like, dude, I got told at one Taco Bell we're not supposed to do that. Shut the fuck up! Like, make my goddamn double-decker taco, you fucking bastards. Then, fucking a week ago, I go into fucking Taco Bell and they fucking discontinued the potato soft taco, dude. Dude, if I ever see a fucking CEO or some fucking bigwig at Taco Bell, I'm blasting him straight in the fucking face because it's completely uncalled for. All the products are there and they just take, like, why is it off the computer? Take it off the menu. I don't give a shit. Get rid of it off the
Yeah.
menu. Why is it off your computer system? Like, fuck off. Oh, dude. And then you fucking, well, we're going to bring in the Doritos fucking spicy fucking, shut the fuck up. Keep the
Oh.
double-decker taco. Keep the spicy potato sauce taco. Bring back the zesty steak taco over to the fuck that was. Like, that shit was bomb. Fucking bring the green onions back. Oh, dude, it just... You know who hasn't changed? Mickey D's. Still making the fucking Big Mac. They don't fuck with shit. That's why Mickey D's is the most popular fucking chain on the planet. They don't fuck around. They don't do their customers like that. I'm fucking
I'm
worked
pretty
up.
sure. I'm pretty sure there's one chain that has more than Mickey D's. One. And it's called Subway. Pretty sure.
They haven't
I could
made. I
fact.
know they have not made more money than Mickey D's. That's crazy
No,
talk.
just more locations. So you're all pissed off and fired up. You're mad. I mean, they discontinued it for a reason. I'm not saying it wasn't good. I'm just saying maybe people didn't order it. Those fucking Doritos tacos are the dumbest fucking thing of all time. Here's where Taco Bell kind of got. Here's what Taco Bell does. They
Despite
started.
this, okay. Despite the seeming ambiguity, goddamn, I can't say that word, of McDonald's Golden Arches and the Starbucks twin-tailed mermaids sandwich chain, Subway actually has the most locations of any restaurant worldwide. In 2017, Subway had 43,912 stores around the world, beating second place McDonald's at 37,000. Jesus Christ.
Wow.
Wow. And
Here's
then
what Taco
Starbucks
Bell
has
did.
27,000. So 43,000 Subway, 37,000 McDonald's, 27,000 Starbucks. I
Wow.
am pretty shocked by that because Subway is fucking garbage.
I actually, if I would have, I was just thinking Subway and McDonald's. If I would have had to guess, I would have actually said there'd be more Starbucks. So that's shocking. Um, See, Taco Bell, they did the thing where they said, let's take a Mountain Dew flavor and offer it exclusively here, and it was successful. So then what they said, let's do that with the Doritos shells, and then they also do it with like the Fritos chips and the burritos. But I guess that's not really an exclusive thing. But
Oh, you're talking Baja Blast? Is that what you're saying?
yeah,
Okay.
they did that, and it was a success. You know what I mean? Whenever they did that. But then they did it with the Doritos tacos things, and those things suck. I don't see how they're still a success. They're
Yeah, and
terrible.
they keep bringing them back and doing all this shit, and then yet they're fucking taking they're taking Old fucking Faithful double decker, dude. The double deckers were fucking bomb, dude. They're so good.
I
Ugh.
just ordered 3 Chalupa Supremes, and I'm on my way, and that's it. And I'm
Chalupas are pretty
rolling.
good. I like the chalupas. You get the beef or steak or chicken.
I think I get chicken. The good thing about the chalupas, and this is going to be even more pulling back the curtain than the previous things. Good thing about them chalupa supremes is they're like good the next day. You can just leave them in your car and then eat them the next day, and they're fucking perfect still. That's why when people like Vince and Jay, who's listening, when I say, and they're coming back from a city that's 2 hours away from here, I say, get the Chalupa Supremes. Because I know, for me, because I know that they're going to last the trip. You could drive from Idaho with a goddamn Chalupa Supreme, and I'll still eat it because it's still good. That's why I buy those. They have shelf life
That's
somehow.
gross. That's gross.
Yeah.
So I got two more things. Another quick one. This is just something I
Okay.
learned today. Did you know that FBI is technically not actually an acronym, or CIA, or MIA, or POV? Those actually aren't acronyms. That's not what an acronym is.
BBC.
What? Not an acronym.
BBC.
Not
Okay.
an
What is
acronym.
it? What is it?
That is an initialism.
Oh, what's an acronym?
An acronym is MEGA, or um, or MAGA, or fucking
Like
an acronym is when you speak a word that the initials mean something, but when you say the initials as letters, that's initialism. FBI is not an acronym.
okay.
MEGA is an acronym, or I'm trying
So
to think of
USA.
another one. USA
USA.
is initialism.
Hmm,
Fucking, I'm trying to think of an acronym. Uh,
yeah.
what's it?
People
What's one? I can only think of
people
MEGA.
say people say NATO.
NATO. Yes, yes, NATO. Boom, that's
SWAT.
one.
People say SWAT.
SWAT. Yes,
SWAT.
that is an
Yeah.
acronym. That is an acronym.
Hmm.
Isn't that weird? Something I learned this week.
That makes sense though. But yeah, that is weird.
And then the only other thing I have is just a weird piece of. I was listening to that podcast I keep talking about, fucking Dan Cummins' Time Suck, and it was weird because the whole topic was aliens, was Skinwalker Ranch or whatever. But he said something there that I have never fucking heard of. Did you know that during World War II, the Japanese, like, they they were thinking of any way to fucking like fuck with America. You know what I mean? And
Hmm.
so they fucking set off like over the period of the war. They sent up like 10,000 fucking balloons filled with helium and just launched them out of Japan and just got them up into the jet stream and fucking they had barometers or whatever those fucking things are, and like they would have like sand, but they'd like set up this little computer barometer thing, and it would like either let helium out of the balloon or fucking drop sandbags or whatever to like keep it at a certain elevation, and it'd get it
Hmm.
into the jet stream because I guess the jet stream from fucking over the Pacific Ocean is like
Hmm.
over 200 miles an hour, and fucking which that's crazy talk. And then so you
Yeah.
can get a balloon from Japan to America in like 3 days. And fucking they'd fill these fucking balloons up with explosives. And fucking they sent like 10,000 of them over. And the whole idea was to start a fire. But then what I read today, which is kind of silly, is the jet stream is the most active in the wintertime. And
Yeah.
so they were doing it in the wintertime, but the chances of starting a fucking fire in the winter is pretty much slim to
Yeah.
none. So that's
Yeah.
kind of silly. But there's only one reported, nothing ever happened because of it except one fucking time. And it was here in Oregon, a fucking, during World War II, a fucking lady and 5 children in Oregon on the Oregon coast fucking found this fucking balloon and fucking went down to go start pulling it up this fucking hill. Boom! Fucking killed all of them. Fucking one
What?
time. Yep, five children died and one lady died of this Japanese balloon bomb. There's an actual I forgot I don't know why I didn't write the name down. Um,
That's genius.
yeah, well,
I think.
kinda didn't work all that well. It took 10,000
Well,
to kill
no.
6 people. Didn't start any fires. That's a lot of money to kill six fucking people.
Yeah. I mean,
But then
it's
I
a
guess
kind of a genius idea.
balloon bombs have been used. Then it was like, if you look it up on Wikipedia, they've been used like a lot. Like recently, they've been used a shitload on the Gaza Strip and have actually done a shitload of damage. Like
Mm.
terrorists are fucking using it, and sending it over into Jerusalem. Fucking boop, boop, boop,
Jesus.
boop, boop, boop. And fucking, it's great, great little deal.
Yeah.
When you're fucking upstream from someone, downwind from someone or upwind from someone, fuck yeah, fucking send some balloon bombs out.
Yeah, I guess over there it's probably a shorter distance. That's
Yeah,
the
and you
thing.
know what fucking tripped me out is all these pictures you see of Jerusalem and Iran and Afghanistan and all this shit is it just desert, right? You just see desert
Yeah.
everywhere. Well, when I was reading the balloon bomb thing from the Gaza Strip, they said some of the balloons have reached, like have gone like 200 miles or something like that, and that it's burnt. They're saying the Gaza Strip balloon bombs are responsible for like some 10,000 acres of burnt of fires, and it's like what? Like, how do you start a fucking fire out in the desert? It doesn't really make sense to me. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I was reading that and I had to reread it a few times. That number is probably wrong, but they definitely said like a significant number of acres have been burned because of balloon bombs. And I'm like, how do you burn the desert? It doesn't make any sense to me.
Well, isn't there like poppy fields and shit over there?
I
Fuck,
don't
I
know.
don't know.
In my mind, I just imagine like Utah.
Crops?
You know what I mean? I just imagine like southern Utah, where it's like there's no such thing as a forest fire in southern Utah. Like it's
Yeah.
just fucking sandstone everywhere.
Dude, that's fucking craziness. I think it's a good idea. I mean, if you like the Japanese, if you have don't have the resources to get how do we get from here to there? We'll send balloons up into the jet stream and float them over. Once we let them go, it's just out of our control. Problem was, not many made it.
Yeah,
Not that I'm saying I wanted them to make it. I'm just saying in the 40s, they're pretty innovative. They're innovative people.
yeah.
Just didn't.
It is a good idea. Like they did it. It was a good enough idea that they tried it.
Yeah. They fly under the radar. Fucking
Yeah.
literally. Yeah. Craziness.
Well, and so the fucking podcast I was listening to, they've said that they think a lot of like original UFO sightings and shit were because of these fucking Japanese balloon bombs. Or they like
Well,
chalked it up to that shit. Is they're just like, oh, that was a Japanese balloon bomb. Because they'd see like, they'd see something weird and then this big flash and then it was gone. You know what I mean? And they
Yeah.
just like, what the fuck was that? You know what I mean? And well, it was like, well, these balloons are, well, and the size of these balloons too were pretty fucking big. This isn't just like a little balloon. This is more like a hot air balloon. You know what I mean? They were 30 feet wide. You know what I mean? These are pretty
Oh.
big fucking balloons. They're big ass
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
balloons.
I wonder if anyone flying ever saw them in the air. Is the jet stream higher than we fly? I don't fucking know. That'd
I
be
don't know.
trippy.
I don't know. I'm
Yeah.
not very good at elevations. I don't know. It's weird to me to
Aviation.
think. I would assume. Yeah. Now I was thinking about it too when I was reading about the jet stream. Like, do they just have to avoid the jet stream, or you know what I mean? Because you like, if you're getting like in and out of the jet stream, you'd probably have like crazy fucking turbulence. You know what I mean? Or like fuck the plane up.
Yeah. I don't
Like,
know. Either that or you ride it.
or you ride it and save gas. Because if you got a tailwind at 200 miles an hour, you know,
Yeah.
probably save a lot of fucking gas that way. I don't know.
Yeah, that a pilot could answer that. Fuck, that's weird.
I
That's a
don't get how the
mystery.
jet stream works. I really like. I know you see it on the TV and shit, but it kind of just fucks my head up a little bit. Like thinking about just you just look at the air around you, and you're just like, how does it seems like this tunnel? You know what I mean? Is being cut through, and is just like that doesn't make sense to me. Like what's pulling it? What's I don't know. Fucks with me.
I don't know either. Yeah, I know. That's a
I'm a,
meteorologist.
I'm a stupid person
That's
though. So
that's why you need a group with a meteorologist and a pilot, and you can just be like, boom, 5 seconds, get your question. I mean, there's Google. There's always Google too. I guess that helps that. Well, you want to wrap it? Wrap it up?
one more quick thing. Suicide
Yes, please.
Squad is the worst fucking movie I've ever watched in my life. I It was retarded. Absolutely retarded. That movie sucks balls.
I think they're making another
Oh,
one.
I'm sure they are. This is, dude. It was such a big deal. It was in like video games and shit. I never watched it, and then I finally saw it. It came up on free on YouTube TV, and was like, oh, okay, it got a lot of fucking notoriety. And I watched it. It was like, this is the dumbest movie. I didn't finish it. I made it about three-quarters of the way through. Fucking retarded. That movie sucks balls.
Yeah.
Those characters are so unbelievable and dumb. Like Harley Quinn, like come on, what a shitty superhero. Like just or
Villain.
whatever you want to call her, villain. But she's almost this. They're all like, and then like Will Smith's character, like just dumb. Like I can fucking, I'm just really good at shooting people. Like
Well, Jared Leto. You'd think if you say let's give the character of the Joker, who is this, you'd think that everyone who's an actor would jump at the chance and be like, oh, I want to play the Joker. You know what I mean? Um, and Jared Leto's a fantastic actor, but that Joker was just not very good. Plus, he only had like 7 minutes of screen time or whatever. But
yeah,
then they
that's what
made
I was
that.
so confused about, is because they were like this huge deal. Was Harley Quinn and fucking the Joker. And so
Yeah,
I was totally thrown off by like, oh, this is this movie? Like this
yeah.
is what it's about? Like this is
Well, and before the movie
stupid.
came out, they released like images of him as the Joker, sort of like they did with the last one, I believe. And people were just like, "Holy fuck!" Like he like smiling. You're like, he did a whole different Joker, than Heath Ledger. He did a whole different one. But then he was only in it for like 7 minutes. But then they made that other movie, the Harley Quinn's movie called like Birds of Prey, and
I'm not gonna watch it. Yeah, I'm
I know
fucking
I heard that people liked it,
Oh, I'm
but
sure, but people like Suicide Squad. I remember when
right.
that came out. I remember people on Facebook like, I'm going back. You know what I mean? That movie was so fucking cool. But I guess this kind of comes with me in like all Marvel movies and all that shit. I think they're all trash. I think they're
Yeah.
just dumb. I do not like watching it,
No.
but this one in particular was very dumb to me. Like I would rather
It,
watch Iron
it,
Man than this shit. Iron Man was way better. Like Iron Man or Avengers and shit. Those are at least okay to watch. But
yeah.
fucking
But that Suicide Squad's probably a DC characters. But you'd think you'd be like, let's get Margot Robbie and Jared Leto together. Fuck, they should have done a different movie with those two because those two are both good. But I like Batman movies. All the other
I
comic book movies,
Batman
fuck
movies are
off.
dope. Batman movies are
Yeah,
dope.
I'm
Um,
sorry.
and then one other thing, real quick. I know this isn't even like a popular movie, but I did like the notorious like dad thing. We were watching.
Dude, you
Uh,
gotta watch Parasite.
I know I'm a
Jesus.
piece of shit. Resident Evil, the final chapter or something like that, I put on the other day. I'm sure you haven't
Mm,
even seen it. Have you seen it?
mm-mm. Nope.
Dude, they have a dude in there. They're fighting off this like crazy zombie horde. This guy's like, the idea is this one guy has like playing music or something, and he's like, or, I don't know, but he has this big ass badass fucking like warthog machine thing, and then he like has like thousands of zombies behind him, and he goes to like storm this barricade to like go
Mm.
kill the girl, like the main actress, and she's like held up in this fortress with all these other people, and they're getting ready to fight off this fucking horde. And then like I'm in and out of it and in and out of it, and then fucking I come in and they're getting attacked by this horde, and they have a fucking character in it that has an air tank strapped to the back of him and a fucking cord with a nail gun on it, and he's fucking shooting zombies with a fucking nail gun, and I am freaking the fuck out. Like
Oh my
that's the
god.
dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. I was like, babe, let's go set up a nail gun and a fucking air tank and start shooting nails at me because yeah, it'll piss me off real good, but it won't
Right.
fucking kill me. It definitely will not kill me. Like it's just gonna hurt. You know, it's just gonna be like taking a nail and fucking chucking it at someone. Like you're not gonna kill any. You're not gonna kill anybody by that. And he's like fucking people up with this nail gun. Like pew 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 pew.
Well,
I was so
zombies have like soft. They don't have like bone
oh
left.
I
It's
don't
soft.
care. I don't care when they're all using guns and this guy's out there with a fucking nail gun. I was pissed. I was like, this is the dumbest shit ever.
So, speaking of movies and zombies, so it was last year when I decided I was like, every other weekend I'm gonna go see a movie, and I saw some fantastic fucking movies. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, The Joker, Ad Astra. I don't know if you know about Ad Astra, but I fucking loved that movie. It was really good. I saw a bunch of other ones too, but one of the ones I did also see in that summer was Zombieland 2. And out of all the movies I saw, that was the one with the most packed theater in it. And during the movie, I'm sitting in the very back row, like I do in my spot, right on the aisle, back row. So I have the wall behind me because I don't like people behind me. And there's this kid in the middle of the theater, in the middle of the row, and we're watching the movie, and this kid just stands up, and I'm like, okay, and he's standing there, and then he turns to come to my way, like the aisle that I'm sitting on, but he's way up above, way in front of me, and he starts like trying to walk out, but you got to walk past people's feet, and there's not a lot of room, and then he's sort of at the point where he's just fucking crawling across people, trying to get out into the aisle. He's like just crawling, and I'm watching this now, and I would think that other people would be. And it's kind of that almost that thing where it's like you're no statistically you're not going to be the person that jumps up and does anything first. You're going to wait for someone else to do it, maybe. But he's like crawling across people's laps trying to get to the aisle. Then he gets out to the aisle and he stands up in the middle of the aisle and he's staring at the back, but the theater's like slanted and he's trying to like balance, and then he just face plants, boom, down on the floor, hard. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And then he starts like slowly army crawling up the aisle, trying to get to like the back of the theater. At this point, one of his buddies, thank God, has stood up from where he was sitting and is now trying to get out to the aisle to help him. And I'm like, dude, this dude is fucking shit faced drunk. And I'm like, why would you get so drunk to go to the movies? You're not even going to remember the movie. I understand like smoking weed before a movie, but who wants to get that drunk? And he's like crawling on the floor, and then his buddy gets out there and like helps him up, and like they like and like carries him out of the theater. And I'm like, what the fuck, dude? People are
Yeah,
fucking weird.
getting drunk when yeah, I will say that, dude. Being drunk, excessively drunk for something is really
In the
shitty.
theater?
I
Yeah.
paid, dude. I had a buddy. I fucking paid for tickets, and I had a buddy fucking come up from Sandpoint to Portland, and we went and saw Flight of the Conchords in a theater, like they did like a comedy music show. You know what Flight of the Conchords is?
No.
They had a HBO show where they just like play music, and it's just this comedy kind of sketch show, and then
Okay.
they just kind of bust into music, you know. And they had one song that like kind of like went viral before viral was a thing. Like this is
Okay.
like poppy or comedy song about time to bang or something like that. I can't remember the song. But anyways, I was excited to see him, and I bought box seats. I bought the most expensive box seats you could get. I bought the nicest seats in the theater at the Arlene Schnitzer Hall in Portland, which is a nice theater to begin with. Because I was just like, dude, I'm balling. I was like, at least once in my life, I'm gonna go to a theater show and I'm gonna ball. And fucking, dude, it was like, it was just under $500 a ticket. Spent like $1,000 on the show.
Damn.
And fucking, we got fucking hammered, and it was fun. The only fun part about getting drunk for this, which was a cool experience, was we go in and we're like late. We got lost getting to Arlene Schnitzer. My fucking phone took me to the other side of Portland, which I was pissed. And like I asked this dude, I'm like, where's the fucking Arlene Schnitzer? And this guy's like, dude, that way, the other way. And I'm like, nah, bro, it says on my phone it's around here. He's like, I'm telling you, it's over there. And I'm like, finally, I'm like, okay, I'm going to listen to this guy. He seems like he absolutely knows where this place is. And fucking, so we get there late. We miss half of the beginning act. But we fucking go in, it's empty. You know, like the entrance part of the theater. You know, this is a huge theater. Like this is where they do operas and fucking, you know, like big shit. You know what I mean? This isn't just like some auditorium. And fucking, you know, it's all empty. There's just a few people scattered out, like people that work there. No one like regular people.
They're watching the show.
Yeah, and fucking, we're like trying to find our seats, and we talk to one person, and we're like, how do we get here? And they're like, okay, take the elevator up, go to the top fucking floor, fucking da 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 da. I'm like, okay. So we take the top elevator up, and we come out into this hallway, and fucking this lady is like, sees us, and we're fucking hammered. And fucking, and this is like a nice place. And she's like, no. She's like, you guys get back in the elevator, get out of here. I'm like, I have fucking seats. I was like, and she's like, nope, go and get. And then I like show her the tickets, and she's like, oh. And she's like, yeah, right over here. And I'm just, it was a great feeling. Like, yeah, fuck you, bitch. Like, yeah, fucking commoners can afford these seats too, you bitch. Like, fucking. But then I do not remember. I don't remember a fucking thing from that show. Zero.
Not.
I don't remember anything. I don't remember any song they did. I don't remember any joke they did. Nothing.
Yeah. It's like I understand smoking weed before a movie. I understand that. I don't understand getting shit-faced drunk. And there was the moment where his buddy was still trying to catch up with him, and the guy was army crawling up the aisle of the theater for like, I don't know, 5 to 6 to 7 seconds. And I'm just watching him, and I imagine everybody else on the aisle is watching him, but we're not getting up. Nobody's going to get up, you know, this poor bastard. But I'm like, why would you do that? I don't know. I don't get it. He's probably younger than me.
Dirty dog.
Yeah.
Well, we good?
Good.
Well,
Episode
Eric and Brad
19.
show. 19. I can do one. I can do something here. You know, you don't have to take over everything. I know it's your favorite. Episode 19 in the books, guys. We love you. Eric and Brad show at gmail.com. Check us out. I think it'd be weird. I think it's weird every time when he does his sign off and he says, find us here, here, and here, because obviously you're listening to us. So you've already found us here, here, and there. So, but if you want to check us out somewhere else, I guess you can check out YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, blah, 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 blah. All of them. This is episode 19 in the books. We love you guys. Hope you have a good week. Till next time. Bye.